playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
No, that's why I'm bringing it out today. How about you?
You know, I heard
You gonna take your swell gal out for a good time tonight?
Yeah, at the malt shop.
You know what? That in my incredibly weird brain, that triggered something because I just heard this the other day, and it was a random use of swell in a place I didn't expect to hear it. And I swear to God, I think it was from Warren G and Nate Dogg on Regulate. Yep, I got a car full of girls, and it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel. Yeah,
Banger.
I mean, total banger. And I've said this before.
Hot take.
I'm super ashamed to admit that it wasn't until recently, even though I'd heard both songs many times, that I put together that they were sampling a Michael McDonald song. Regulate. Yeah.
Then the Yacht Rock documentary.
Wait, that's how you found out?
That might have been because I'd heard the Michael McDonald song a bunch of times, and I heard Regulate.
And you thought that he took it from Nate Dogg and Warren G.
Naturally.
Okay.
Normalize.
I'm gonna sample those boys.
I think we should normalize yacht rockers stealing samples from hip hop artists and just reversing the whole thing. Why not?
I'm with you. Yeah, Yacht Rock rocks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's a yacht rock band. It's called like Yachty Rock or something. Yachty, I forget what it's called. They're playing in Rockland, I want to say this month or something. I really want to go.
Yachty.
Good morning. Welcome in. Hello. Hi. How are you? Jason is there, and I am here in New Orleans. And Jason will, fingers crossed, knock on wood, if everything goes right, he will actually be doing the show Friday from Memphis, Tennessee.
Why am I going there?
Well, you would be you would be going there
because the Grizzlies don't know how to count to 5.
If the Kings were to beat the Mavericks tonight, which they may not, who knows? We're not jinxing anything here. Just saying, if that were to happen, then you would go to Memphis.
Okay.
Go to Beale Street, see Eric Hasseltine.
Yeah. Bunk
eat
beds.
Barbecue. Love Memphis. Never been.
I'm walking on Memphis.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of food, Jason Ross.
Yes.
Public thanks to you and your lovely wife and family. We had our Dookie Chase experience yesterday. It is a beautiful building, and I believe it's is it in the? Am I right in saying it's in the Treme area?
Yeah, I think so.
Just kind of, I looked on the map, and that's what it was like the lower left. So I'm assuming that's where it is, and. It's a quintessential. It is. I mean this in like the most complimentary way. It is an incredibly simple layout in the sense that it's just a room with beautiful tables and chairs and gorgeous art on the wall, and it's lit, and everyone's just it's they're not screwing around. You're there to eat and to socialize and entertain and all that. And, see everything. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's more. I think I tried to. It's more like It feels more not a museum, but it's almost like you're at a historical place as opposed to
Yes.
a restaurant, if that makes sense.
It really does seem like you're in a like you're sitting in the middle of a movie about New Orleans, and then the characters are eating, and it's a little intimidating as we pulled up, and we actually got a really good parking spot out front. And then we pull up, and I noticed these not brick, I don't know what you call it. It's like plaques made out of cement on the sidewalk in front, and
which is new. I had not seen that till you sent that picture.
Oh, okay, good. Because one of my remarks was like, "Wow, they really keep this and like people walk all over this, and there's not a smudge." So that explains that. And it's a list of some of the people, obviously, that have eaten there. And you're like, "Oh, Muhammad Ali, cool. Oh, Barack Obama, George Bush." Okay, wow. Oh, here's a bunch of Supreme Court judges. Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. Fats Domino. Like, you're just going down this list of these I mean, I don't even know, not even celebrities, just like legendary people. And then you go in and they have all kinds of pictures of different famous people that have eaten there, and you see Obama tucking a napkin into his collar because he's getting ready, and then it was time, Jason. So the ladies ordered a cocktail.
Nice.
And I had the I wasn't screwing around. I had the chicken.
Okay, you did the fried chicken.
I did the fried chicken, and I was just going to do the 3 pieces of fried chicken, but then I looked at the menu, and you could get red beans and rice with 2 pieces of chicken. And I went, well, why would I not do that? So
yeah.
Red beans and rice. I had a leg and I had a breast. And and then I had to order sides, so I got the okra and I got the greens.
Okay.
And Melissa got these crab stuffed shrimp. My buddy got the seafood platter, just beautifully fried shrimp, oysters, catfish. I think there was something else. And then his wife got the 3-piece of fried chicken, and we just went to freaking town, dude. It was so.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
It was so good. It was so good. And I never do this, Jason, but I just felt like I needed to do it. So of course the hot sauce out here, even though Tabasco is made in Louisiana, but anytime you go anywhere out here, it's Crystal hot sauce, right? And so they had a bottle of hot sauce on there, and I about halfway done with my chicken, I started putting the hot sauce on the chicken, and oh my God, like it just took it to a different level. I will say the bad news. Here is the only negative part of my Dookie Chase quick review. Is
Dog
that
ran away again.
you need to calm down. When we left, I didn't feel good for about an hour, maybe 2, because I was at the point where I didn't have enough left to put in a box and take home, but I wasn't going to leave any of the food uneaten. I went, oh my God, I went way too far. I was so uncomfortably full to a point where we actually took a walk after before we got in the car. Because I honest to God, who are you waving at?
Pat Still.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, that, and by the way, that's not a negative. That's obviously a compliment. So, and you said she's related to you guys, but Tracy, who greeted us there. Oh, that's right. One more thing. We got there. And I gave, there's a line. We get to the front of the line. I give him my name. And the lady just looks at me. She's like, I don't have you at 1. I don't have you at all. And I go, oh, okay, well, would you put it under Carmichael Dave? I don't think so. And then I said, well, what about Jason Ross? I ran through some names, and then that's when I called you. And before I called you, I said this. I said, I know he wouldn't do this, but I would tip my cap to him if this was a bit. And he said he was going to make us a reservation, but you didn't. And then I even asked, I was like, well, when's your next? I didn't want to make any trouble. So I said, when's your next? Well, what about this? When's your next opening? Like,
Sir, lower your voice, please.
Right. I didn't. The last thing I want to do is be a burden or anything at this place.
Security.
Yeah, right. So I said, we could just maybe wait. I'm thinking maybe there's another opening at 1:30, whatever. We could just get in. She's like, well, about 3:45. That's when I called you, and it was under your wife's name, and everything was fine. They came out and took care of everything. So thank you, Jason. And then, of course, at the end, the waitress says, "Hey, thank you. You guys have a great day." And so everyone went outside. I just waited for the bill, and then after it had to be 10 minutes. I finally I didn't want to say anything like, ma'am, can I get the bill? You're slow. Like, that certainly wasn't the case. I didn't want to be rude. I'm stuck. So finally she comes by and we make eye contact and she's like, honey, can I get you anything else? And I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting on the bill. And she laughed. She goes, that's why I said have a nice day. Have a nice day. They took care of it. You're good.
Whoa.
Right. And I went, wait, what? So correct.
Okay, can we get everything that we ordered to go too, please?
I will say this. She did ask when I said originally, could I get the bill? She said she said it exactly like this. She goes, oh, no dessert? And they had like praline something.
I thought you were getting that.
Jason, I couldn't. I looked at it the whole time and I couldn't. I know. And then after she said that, we were comped. Well, I'm not going to order anything. Oh, yes, I would like 17 more things to go. I literally did not have room and I didn't want it to melt or, I didn't want to waste it. But then I don't know what your guys' rule is, or what the rule is, but then I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. I don't have any cash. I just have my cards, right? But even though they were kind enough, and I know, Jason, you and your wife had everything to do with this to comp the meal. Well, she's still waitressed. Like, we have to do something here. So I said, look, could you do me a favor? Thank you so much. Would you mind just charging me for a soda and just bring me the bill so I can, you deserve to, you got to get tipped, right? So she was nice enough to do that. And we, worked it out. You can't not tip somebody like that.
Right.
Like, that would be just the worst thing ever. So wonderful service. Obviously, if anybody's ever out here, and I always recommend they should come out here if you get a chance. Dookie Chase, not that they need my plug, but it lived up to everything.
So if you knew it was going to be comped, what would you have ordered to begin with?
Well, we would have started with the appetizers. Just by the way,
55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Just would have brought it all back to the fridge and we would have eaten all week. I did ask my wife I said, I'm honestly tempted to just, as my meal, order all the appetizers. And she said, don't be dumb. And I don't know if that's a dumb thing or not. Anyways, we thank you, Jason. Please pass it on to your wife. And if you ever get a chance, I would say, and maybe I'm wrong, it's the holy triad is probably what Dookie Chase, Commander's Palace, and what maybe Antoine's out here. I might be forgetting one or two, but
that city now. It's just you kind of can't go wrong. There's a lot of great places to eat.
Well, I am still a little bit full, but we are full of content for today. It is Kings Play-In Wednesday. Yeah, feel the power, feel the vibration. We have a massive show planned for you. You know how it's going to be good because Jason booked it. So we have Katie, of course, on every Wednesday. She joins us at 9, so we'll get her breakdown. Yesterday,
oh my gosh, just lame.
We had Mark Followill, the TV voice of the Mavericks. Today, Chuck Cooperstein, a couple of legendary voices joining us on the program, and he will help us preview. We'll get his version of the preview. Mark previewed both sides. We'll get Chuck's preview of tonight's Mavs Kings game as well. But when we get back, we'll lead it off. We know who some 7 seeds are. Now we got to figure out who the 8 seeds are. We'll go back through those games as well, baseball and more. Sit back. It's Dave, Jason, Chris. We'll be right back after this. Word. We'll be right back after this word from your friendly neighborhood friends at Hoblet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, good morning. Carmichael Dave here. And I got to talk to you. I'm going to tell you a little secret, something I've never said before. Hoblet is a family-owned operation. Hoblet is, and there's actually like people named Hoblet. It's not, these are real people, like Chad, the whole family. They've owned this forever. It's 5 minutes from the airport, right there in Woodland. And think about it. So I thought about this the other day. You know how sometimes I say Hoblet is the #1 Ram dealer in California, #3 in the whole country? Think about this for a second. How could a dealership in Woodland, California move the most Ram trucks in the entire state, which is the biggest in the country, the 7th largest economy in the world? How could they be #3 in the whole U.S. of A? They're in Woodland, right? Even though Woodland's right there, it's still Woodland. Well, that's because people go there over and over and over again. Once they experience the way of buying a vehicle at Hoblet, they don't go anywhere else. There's a reason. Not only do you get the best deals, but you get the best service. I would invite you to check it out. See the full selection at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable price, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. We'll take a break. 30 seconds. Don't go away. Bleeding off his next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
The final 7 seconds ticking away. For the 4th time this year, the Kings in wire-to-wire fashion have gotten a victory on a night where the opponent never had the lead. The Kings led this one by as many as 32. They improved their record to 32-28. They gain a game on Dallas. So Sacramento will be in that number 9 spot and still close quarters in the scramble for playoff and play-in opportunities in the Western Conference. Final score in this one is 122-98.
And I remember, as that is the, of course, legendary voice of the Kings, Gary Gerald. Jason, I remember so many people saying after that 122-98 victory by the Kings, walking out of Golden One Center and then on the show the next day, I want to see them play again. I want to see these guys play each other again, and you're going to get your chance tonight, 7 p.m., not even a weird time. It's normal time, 7 p.m. That is an ESPN game following the Heat Bulls and their 9-10 matchup. The Dallas Mavericks visit the Sacramento Kings. And, you know, Jason, all the buildup, all the hype, these two have been on a collision course for most of the season. It's like two boxers facing off after the tours and the press conferences and everything. The time for talk is over, Jason. Tonight, it's monos y monos, as they will fight to the basketball death right there at Golden One Center.
Yeah, it's right here. It's their opportunity. Look, they've got home court. I don't know, in a one-game situation, you'd rather be in that spot. We saw home court prevail last night. And the Kings, it's weird to have swept them during the regular season at 3-0. I know the thought would always be it's hard to beat a team 4 times. We thought last year it'd be hard for New Orleans to beat the Kings 6 times. But I feel like the previous 3, you really have to throw that out. The starting lineup tonight for Dallas and the starting lineup tonight for the Kings, they haven't played each other yet. This group hasn't. We haven't seen this exact configuration. So it'll be fun to see how it all plays out tonight.
You know how they say you always want to beat a team at their best. You want to, you don't want injury to taint anything. I'm not going to lie. I wish he wasn't, just as a basketball fan, but I'm not sad that we don't have to face Kyrie Irving tonight.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I still get the feeling if he was healthy, if he didn't get hurt in the game the Kings played him, I don't think they're at a 10 seed. So they are. Yeah. And they're the team that has to kind of figure it out, probably more so than the Kings as far as how they're going to play together. But all they need is one good night, and anybody can do that in the league.
Remember, you can watch us on YouTube. Get in the chat, say hello if you want, or just watch. Please like and subscribe. Also, you can text us at 916-339-1140. Tom Trewicki, special shout out to him as our regulars are all in. Tom says, good morning, watching from West Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. Tom, as a former resident of La Vista, Nebraska, I feel you. Thanks so much for listening out there. Well, now there's a little bit of pressure. I didn't know Nebraska was watching. So
yeah, we gotta tighten
Bring back
up.
some corn, please.
it's not that kind of corn. That's there's better corn here in Slough House than there is in Nebraska.
Corn.
Cut number 2.
You're telling me these Huskers are liars?
There's a lot of corn out there. It's the feed the cows corn. It's not the feed the us corn for the most part. You get what I'm saying? Like they grow like pet and animal corn.
Now I get it.
Yeah, we grow
popcorn.
Yeah. So all right. Nebraska's official motto is the good life. And on that note, let's get to cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
We've had enough emotional roller coaster rides. The last 2 games, one didn't go our way, one did. So just a matter of sticking with it, trying to make plays down the stretch defensively, keying on certain guys. But like you said, playing it's why it's here. It's why the league created it, because it's a lot of drama. And it's nice to know what it feels like to win one. We are 1-3 now.
Almost.
Didn't work out last year, did it? When Clay came in and went 1 for 10. But the Golden State Warriors. And by the way, Jason, I was on this ghost tour with everyone, and I checked my phone, and it's like 55-38 or something Warriors in the second quarter. I was like, okay, well, that game's over. Cool, no problem. Yeah, no, you know what? It wasn't over. Memphis at one point took the lead, and the Warriors ended up pulling it out 121-116. Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry combined for 75 points. I'm just going to say this. If they continue to do that, they're going to be tough for teams to beat. That's my opinion.
That's a good opinion. That's a good take. Yeah, Jimmy, I thought that was the best I've seen Jimmy in a long time. He's kind of just fit in with the Warriors, which has obviously helped, and it's worked, and they've won a ton of games. But he was attacking. He got to the line a ton of times, and he was good. Steph was a good closer. But I mean, Memphis, I give them credit because I was with you. I'm like, oh, well, it got up to 20. I'm like, this is going to be ugly. And then they chipped away, caught him, passed him, had the lead, and even a couple times near the end, I'm like, it looks like it's going to slip away from Memphis. But they had their chances all the way to the end. So, and we'll see going forward if the Kings, well, really the Kings or Mavs, whoever wins tonight, seeing Ja roll that ankle. I know he came back in, but you never know how he'll feel today.
Jimmy Butler, this is what they wanted. This is what they thought they were getting. You do whatever you do in the regular season with Jimmy, and they obviously did great, but this is where Jimmy Butler shines. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He and Steph Curry combined for 31 free throws. Memphis shot 23 total as a team, and I'm not insinuating anything, just that, like you said, they got to the line quite a bit. When you look at Memphis's splits, Jason, they shot 49, 46, and 87, and they still lost, probably amongst those reasons, 19 turnovers to the Warriors 10. That's playoff basketball, buddy.
Yep.
Well,
good basketball.
Very good. We'll get to more of that here a little bit later on in the program, 7 a.m. We'll look back at that and also look ahead with Memphis in a possible matchup with the Sacramento Kings. Very quickly, cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Out of the plate and the pitch. That swung on, drive to deep right field. Just looking up is Palacios. He has done it again. A 3-run homer for Soderstrom, and the A's lead 9-3. Oh, is that ball well hit?
The third multi-home run game for Soderstrom this year that leads the league. 3 for 5 with 6 RBI, couple of home runs. Jason, he's got 8 home runs. He's batting .328. He's got 17 RBI. I don't want to get silly, but he's 23 years old. He's from Turlock. Tyler Soderstrom is very much possibly on the cusp of being a straight-up star in Major League Baseball world.
Well, and that's what we said, like when knowing that the A's were coming here at the time and that, coming off a couple of tough seasons, but who would develop, who would turn into a player to watch? Well, he's certainly one of them. Leads the majors at the time right now in home runs. Like you said, has 3 multi-homer games and seemingly is hitting in a hitter-friendly park. So he could have a really, really big season and hopefully a couple seasons while he's here.
Better than Aaron Judge right now.
Watch it.
I'm just saying. We'll take a break when we come back. Hey, guys, let's talk some sports if we could. Orlando takes the 8th spot. This was the game that we were least into, and, well, they kind of proved us right. We've got audio. Jason will take you through some of the highlights, and then let's look ahead at Orlando's roster real quick. Can they challenge Boston at all? We're not going to spend a ton of time on that, but it's an interesting enough question to talk about before we get to safe or out baseball and the Warriors Memphis Kings at the top of the hour. That's the rest of your 6 o'clock. We'll take a quick break. We're right back after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Northwest Exteriors.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Wednesday. Getting out the door to a cool and refreshing beginning to the day. A lot of cloud cover, but those clouds will slowly thin out. Looking at mostly sunny skies this afternoon, a bit of a delta breeze and highs in the low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Northwest Exteriors wants to keep you cool all season long. Trusted in Sacramento for heating and cooling systems. Book your tune-up today as part of our 30th anniversary special. Call 888-TRUST-NW or visit trustnorthwest.com.
Simply the best. Trust Northwest.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, a little historical perspective on Jacob Wilson's 15-game hitting streak to begin the season, which ended on the 13th against the Mets. In the expansion era, the only longer streak by an Athletic to start a season, Stan Javier hit in 17 straight in 1994. The Athletics record, Hank Majeski, 19 straight in 49.
Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business with reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solution, and Wi-Fi backup. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. For details on special offers, including free professional installation and up to a $500 Visa prepaid card on qualifying internet bundles, log on to business.comcast.com. Comcast Business, powering possibility.
And now a brief history of the garage door. Garage doors could date back to 450 BC when chariots were stored in gatehouses. Here in the States, they became a thing around the start of the 20th century. You could find a float over door in a catalog way back in 1906. National Garage Door has been around since 1974. They're family owned and operated, so you can trust them to solve any garage door issues you may have. Squeaky door, malfunctioning door, or a need for a new door, which is what prompted us to give them a call, 916-638-4554. At National Garage Door Services, their number one priority. I've witnessed that commitment in my own home, certainly in our garage. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They are the nation's BSE broken spring experts. So if you have a garage door that looks and sounds like it dates back to 450 BC, National Garage Door can help, whether it's a garage door tune-up, repair, or replacement you need. They'll take care of you at National Garage Door. 916-638-4554. That's 916-638-4554. National Garage Door.
It's the final days of the spring sales event. Drive home your new Honda before the deals and the new Hondas disappear. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Jason, I was, during the break, sometimes I'll bookmark stuff. Probably the best thing about social media is I'll bookmark stuff for the show. There was a game, it was a basketball game, and the camera was showing the bench, and then behind you see fans. And one of them was eating spaghetti.
Game?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
So I started thinking of a list. I want to make a list today. What are like the best foods that would be just the weirdest to eat or most inconvenient to eat at a game? I'm not saying, like, can I just be honest with you? I went down this rabbit hole in my brain of this, like, what? I mean, if it was served in, I wouldn't say in a cup, but instead of a bowl, like maybe a more like a half between a cup and a bowl. So you don't want to bring a platter out. But I don't know if spaghetti at a game is a terrible thing. I would eat it. But like, I don't know that I would eat, like, I feel like sometimes you get stuff at games. Like if I got like a plate of fried chicken, I love fried chicken. I don't know if that's a game food.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with like ribs.
Yes.
Okay, what about this? What about like, okay, what about a nice New York strip? Not a game food.
At first I was thinking soup, but then I'm like, oh no, soup would probably be pretty good.
I think I've actually had soup in it. I think like it was probably media room soup way back when, and I put it in that's exactly what it was. It was minestrone. This was like maybe my second year covering the league, and they had minestrone soup at the old Arco, and I put it in a coffee cup. And then I just like I didn't want people seeing me eat soup, so I just drank it like coffee, but it was soup. That's fine, no problem.
If someone came out with like the sizzling plate of fajitas, So you have to like somehow dress them up and put them together. Hey, plate's hot, and just like sitting in the aisle, and people are walking by the hot plate of fajitas.
That would be awesome.
Excuse me, you forgot the tortillas when you get a chance, please.
I'm looking online. There is a way that spaghetti at a game could work.
Why wouldn't they put that in like a baseball helmet?
Well, they've got spaghetti garlic bread cones. So a cone made out of garlic bread filled with spaghetti.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and I know it's probably going to sound, your first inclination is going to be, are you psycho? But just hear me out. Just please hear me out. So spaghetti and meatballs, right? Sauce, noodle, meatball. But you have like a garlic cheese tortilla, and it's wrapped in a burrito. Like, what a spaghetti and meatball burrito and a garlic cheese tortilla. I feel like that would work.
I think so, but it's got to
like you're
stay in there.
Yeah.
Like if you have the bowl of spaghetti, at least the spaghetti can fall back in the bowl.
I'm still going with this cone idea.
Like an ice cream cone, but with spaghetti?
With a garlic bread.
Garlic bread cone.
Garlic bread cone. With
I'm
spaghetti
sorry. I feel like that's a lot messier than the spaghetti burrito. I mean,
I just don't know why the bowl and a fork. You're holding your left hand has the bowl, and then you're just twirling your spaghetti and then sharing noodles between you and your neighbor, like Lady and the Tramp.
I'm glad you said fajitas because I like fajitas.
Mm-hmm.
I've ordered it a couple times at like a Chili's or a place like that. I forget, but is it obnoxious to order fajitas? Because I feel self-conscious when I do because they're so loud, which is part of the presentation.
Everyone who orders them wants to be part of the show. They want everyone to say, "Look at me."
That's what I'm saying. I feel like ordering fajitas in a public place is a little bit of main character syndrome, but I legitimately like fajitas. Like, could you order them? Like, could you ask for them quietly?
Can you give me some of them quiet fajitas?
Can you sing happy birthday to that couple over there while you bring out like fajitas?
Yeah, make it really, really loud and then sneak these sizzlers in.
That's actually a great bit. I've pulled that bit on my son a couple times where it's not his birthday or it's near his birthday, but not quite. We secretly
my
do
birthday.
The public birthday is amazing. Yeah, we'll get back to that. Now I'm thinking I think I like it. Just like, is pie okay?
Sure.
What about game pie?
What about like a chicken pot pie?
Ramen? I guess that's the same as spaghetti.
I mean, I had edamame at a Giants game once. It's not as tough as you just have a cup of edamame and then they give you another cup to throw the edamame shells in. You dialed. Oh, I got it. Worst thing to eat at a game. Easily. I got it. Crab.
Yeah, for the smell and for the work you have to do.
100%. Oh, great point. We'll move on here. You're right. Molcajete.
Oh,
the bowls that they serve. That
Hey, you know who has the thought on this? JR.
Oh, I had a feeling. Good morning, JR. Welcome in. Hello.
I order fajitas and I tell them it's my own birthday.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that, JR.
Did you guys see the skit Saturday Live where people lied about their birthday and then they put her in the Temple of Doom, like from Indiana Jones?
Yes.
Because it was a good one.
Ooh, oysters on the half shell.
Mm.
I don't think that would. I feel like that would work. It's just a plate of oysters. You just right.
Yeah, Don't put vinegar on it. Are you in Europe right now? Where are you at?
Sort of. It's kind of like France.
Is it CMC? Is he in Europe? Is he doing his Youngtown, Honeytown, whatever he teaches and coaches? Is that where you are, CD?
Oh, me? No, I'm in New Orleans, dude.
Oh, that doesn't count, Jason.
It's French. I'm in the French Quarter.
Oh, I thought you were using like Starlink, linking in on this freaking TV show or this radio show here. So
No. Everything good?
All right. Well, I just want to let you know, I make sure to always order, and I like the fees. I like them to bring the biggest platter. Remember the old Chevy's platter?
Yes.
It was like the size of the table. You had your sour cream on one side, and it was literally like a factory. I would hire a little kid to like scoop all the stuff together so that I could have my half-inch fajita from the freshly made fajita in the fake machine there at Chevy. So there you go. Fajitas are pretty good.
They are pretty good.
You can't go wrong with fajitas.
No. Who has ever been like, I don't like fajitas? Ever?
I don't like
Anyone?
fajitas.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh.
What about cereal?
Yeah, what would be I mean, actually, I think pretty much everything would be acceptable to the game. It's just how difficult would it be?
I think the plate was the hardest thing about seeing that.
Yeah.
It was like a tiny plate.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Again,
Also,
they put that in a helmet. We're good.
I like your idea of the spaghetti helmet.
Yes.
But what would
But it's a basketball game. It'd have to be a basketball.
Yeah, it'd be a half basketball.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Not a net.
No. Spaghetti in a basketball net would be incredibly awkward to eat in a game. Also, before I forget, Orlando won last night. And I started talking about this because there's just like very little. The most entertaining part of the game was Trae Young getting thrown out.
Yeah.
Because he was kicking a basketball around and he threw a chest pass a little too difficult, a little too hard at the ref. He got booted. Now they gotta regroup.
Well, Orlando, congrats. You get the Celtics.
Yeah, you get the Celtics, and then you got the Bulls playing their playing game tonight too. Kind of a little connection between the two. Biscuits and gravy in a helmet bowl would 100%. Can I tell you something? If biscuits and gravy was served at ball games, I would, unless it was a hot summer day, like for a baseball game, I would order it literally every time I went. I've eaten biscuits and gravy out of a cup before many times.
How about, I mean, I guess they could all put it mashed together like a scramble, but if it was eggs and bacon and hash browns or something.
like an omelet?
Kind of, yeah. But even if they're cooked separately, so where you feel like you need a plate, yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, it'd have to be in a bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you're ever driving and you go by a Flying J truck stop, they usually have a biscuits and gravy stand in there. You just throw the biscuits, a couple biscuits in, douse it with gravy, then just drink it while you're driving. Oh, my God. Wow. It's amazing. You got to give it a shot. We'll take a break. When we come back, safer out. Hey, the Pods, the Dodds, the Giants, all within a game and a half of each other. Is this going to keep going? We got lots of baseball questions and more for you. It's Dave, Jason, and Chris talking food and sports. We'll be right back after this.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Paul George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text EAT to 64,000. That's EAT to 64,000.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Welcome back. The other couple we're with, one of them, she came out to, they're just starting to wake up, and I make coffee every morning, but this morning I felt like tea instead of coffee. They got a bunch of tea here. So she just came out and poured a cup of coffee and put some creamer in it and was on her way back in, took a sip and realized it was yesterday's coffee. So
gross.
Sorry about that. Also, if anybody out there knows the answer to this, then we'll move on to safe or out. Sometimes I have half a pot of coffee left the next day. And I always wonder, well, what if I just poured that back in the coffee maker and reran it to heat it up and back through the coffee grounds from the day before? Is that okay? Would it make extra strong coffee? I don't know. Jason, you're not a coffee guy, so
I'm not a coffee guy. I've seen people, save the coffee that they have, put it in the fridge, and then warm it up the next day. Can't that work?
Yeah, no, that works. I just honestly if the coffee pot is half full, I want to fill it with water, like the other half, so it's half coffee, half water. Re-pour it back in with new grounds, and then brew it again. Would that make super coffee? I don't know.
Super coffee.
In the meantime, safer out question 1.
The Padres, Dodgers, and Giants are all within a game and a half of each other in the NL West. Do you expect this to be a 3-team race all year?
Jason, I still feel like the Dodgers, who went on a little bit of a mini slump, I do still feel like they're going to pull away with the division at some point. They're just so damn stacked. But then I remember the Padres were right there for much of last year. They're a good good team. And then you have this, no pun intended, this wild card of the Giants where are they just starting hot? Look, almost every team, with the exception of the White Sox, almost every single team during the course of a 162 game season, almost every single team is going to go on. Well, let's see. What are the Giants? The Giants have won 12 of 17. I mean, that's a pretty good run. Don't get me wrong, but they're going to go on streaks where they win 8 of 10 or 10 of 15 or whatever. You just wonder, are the Giants having this streak at the beginning of the year and it stands out more? As you have talked about many times, if the Giants won 12 of 17 in July, it's not going to stand out as much as it stands out right now. I buy that they are a better team than last year. I buy that they are even a good team and should finish above 500. But are they going to play 700 baseball all year? That's the biggest question I have.
Yeah, and what's the shame is, I mean, barring something weird from Arizona or amazing from Colorado, which I don't see happening now, but we're likely going to see these 3 teams all in the postseason, and 2 of them have to be wild cards. I think that division is just going to be so good. Maybe they'll beat up on each other a little bit as they play each other as the year goes along. But, yeah, they certainly seem like 3 of the best teams in the National League. They're all in the same division. But I'm with you. I think the Dodgers might get a little bit of separation, but I think the Padres will stay on their heels most of the year. Giants will do their best to keep with them, but they're off to a great start.
All right. Question number 2, Chris.
The A's are just 3 out of first in the AL West. Who will finish closer to first in their division, the A's or the Giants?
Sorry to cut you off. My bad. So the top 4 teams in the NL West, I was just counting up. They're a collective plus 84 run differential this year. When you go to the AL West, they are a combined minus 46. As a matter of fact, Jason, every single team in the AL West has a negative run differential. In fact, the Texas
sounds
Rangers,
like they're what's not.
Uh-oh. Well, that's people forget. The Texas Rangers are in first place, and they have a negative 15 run differential. The Athletics are 7-10, and they have a negative 15 run differential. And in between them, the Angels -7, the Mariners -8, the Astros -1. The AL West is drunk right now, and not in a, hey, I'm having a good time, I've got a nice buzz on. They're drunk like, I ran out of bourbon and all that's left is Pabst, and it's 9 a.m. Let's go.
Just drunk.
To be fair,
well, actually,
the A's run differential is 0 since their first game of the season.
You're so stupid. I was really hoping you were going to say, to be fair, honestly, Pabst after bourbon isn't that bad.
Ah, gross.
That's what I was going to say, guys, and especially in a baseball helmet. After you've eaten spaghetti and meatballs out of it.
Oh my God! Imagine what are those? What do they call them? The Irish car bomb. Where imagine taking a shot of bourbon and dropping it in a pint of Pabst and then slamming it. Nope.
I don't have to imagine.
You've been there,
done that.
It's called college, bro.
It's called last night.
I'd rather have 5 Malorts.
I don't even know what that means.
That's what's his face from Barstool was talking about that. Isn't that some sort of like East Coast or
That's a Chicago thing.
Yeah, and it's like absolutely disgusting. But there's this weird. I feel like Malort is the alcohol equivalent in Chicago of what Vegemite is in Europe. Malort. Sounds like a pitcher. Jonathan Malort. Anyways, Jason, your thoughts on the A's?
I'm malorting right now.
Okay.
Will tonight's Kings Mavs game be a malort for the Kings?
Question 3, please.
The Orioles have started out 6-10. Is this the biggest surprise in baseball so far?
You know what? I realized neither of us answered number 2.
A's will finish closer than the Giants.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. A's will finish closer. Orioles have started out 6-10. Biggest surprise in baseball so far. From a negative standpoint, it very well may be. Look, when you look at the top of the divisions, the Yankees, the Tigers, the Rangers, the Mets, the Cubs, even the Padres, none of those are shocking. I mean, really, none of those are – they're not shocking. the Baltimore Orioles 6-10 is not like 1-15. Don't get me wrong, but it is a good team. It is a good team filled with many years of developing a tremendous minor league system. Adley Rutschman and Ryan Mountcastle and our guy Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson. I mean, these are good players, good at business, and I expect them to do a lot better. It's just weird right now.
Yeah, I would put the Braves up there as well. I think that's a good team, and they're 5-12. But in their defense, they started 0-7. They played 4 with the Padres, 3 with the Dodgers. They've also had a 3-game series with the Phillies, so they've had a really difficult schedule. Haven't played it that well, but they're 5-12. I wouldn't be surprised if they start their climb up the standings over time here.
Vincent, Julie, everybody in the chat, hello, thank you so much. Also, I caught this earlier. Who is it? Somebody is watching. Oh, Anton Achacoso is watching in Manila.
Wow.
Where it is currently 9:55 p.m. In the Philippines. So welcome in, Anton. So we have somebody in West Omaha. We have somebody in Manila. Little known fact, Jason, that is where the envelope was invented. So shout out. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get back to it. Top of the hour. And the Warriors beat Memphis in a tight one. Jason's got audio for you. We'll take you through the highlights there. Some Steph heroics, some Jimmy heroics. And let's look ahead at a possible matchup with Memphis. Got to get past Dallas again next, though. Chuck Cooperstein joining us a little bit later on the program, as is Katie Christensen. We're right back after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Well, the weather's been absolutely great. Spring is here. It's been time to spend some quality time outside. Maybe you're doing some work in your garage, and while you're there, you're just kind of looking around and evaluating things, doing some spring cleaning. And how do your doors look? Are they in good shape? Are they running smoothly, properly, without squeaking or hinges that are a little bit shaky or partially working? Or do you just need an overhaul completely? Well, we worked with the great people at the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento and got brand new doors for our garage. And what's great about it is, first and foremost, we had old doors that we had to manually lift open, which, again, not the biggest deal. But now that you've got the convenience that we enjoy that with the ability to open via remote from the app, from the keypad on the side of the garage, it's awesome. And it looks good. That's the best thing, too, is like when you pull up to the house, you just see these brand new doors, windows at the top. It just modernizes our house and just makes it look better. So the curb appeal is fantastic. Talked about functionality already. And then the return on investment. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but it's one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. So we got lots of different byproducts of getting new doors from the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Also working with a great company that's been amazing at this in our region for 70 plus years and is here to help you with your home, your business, however you might need overhead doors from the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. So check them out. See their showroom in Sacramento off Franklin Boulevard. Call them as well if you'd like at 916-421-3747. Ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year, Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are out for blood.
The Sacramento Yola Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
Save $12,750 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT and RST 5.3 in stock at the Meta Chevy Silverado Supercenter. After all rebates.
And Meta Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,750 off new Silverado exclusively at the Meta Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Frustrating 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Ram Truck Month is back. Chad, what kind of deals are happening at Hoblet?
Right now, save up to $17,000 off MSRP on the hard-to-find new 2024 Ram 2500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. We have hundreds of new Ram Heavy Duties available with huge savings, including on the new 2025 Ram Heavy Duties. One of many reasons we are California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
Okay, what kind of selection are we talking about?
We have over 300 new Ram Heavy Duties available, including the all-new 2025 Ram Heavy Duties everyone's buzzing about. With more arriving daily, it's a full-on Ram takeover. If you've been thinking about a new Ram Heavy Duty, now is the time, especially with potential tariffs that could impact the pricing soon.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 Bighorns after $79.72 factory rebates and $90.28 dealer discount. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. To this net savings, sample van 395, 300, and 396 633. See dealer for details.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Rock the Bells presents LL Cool J. Live in concert. LL Cool J. Saturday, May 10th, the venue at Thunder Valley with DJ C-Trip. LL Cool J. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss LL Cool J live.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud. Did I just hear that right? Is LL Cool J coming to Thunder Valley?
Yes.
Dude, what is going on? The shows are insane. I got to see that. Like, look, I how do I say this without, I mean this as a tremendous compliment to Thunder Valley and their bookers. How did you, what a great location to see LL Cool J, who I would think could be in like giant stadiums and stuff. to be able to see him in kind of an intimate venue like that. Guys, show trip to see LL Cool J.
I would love it. But you know what else we could do here? Right? Why don't we do this right now, Dave? You're speaking of the venue. Right now, we have a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Penn and Teller's 50th anniversary tour. 50th anniversary, man.
Wow.
At the venue at Thunder Valley. That's coming up on June 21st. It's the Magic's legendary comedy duo are coming to the venue at Thunder Valley for that 50th anniversary tour. Saturday, June 25th. You can hit up the Folsom Lake Honda
June
hotline.
21st.
What'd I say?
25th.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
June 21st. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. And lucky caller number 5 will score a pair of tickets to the incredible show. Again, 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140 to see Penn and Teller at the venue on June 21st.
Whoever the booker person is at Thunder Valley needs a raise.
Yes.
Well done. Penn and Teller.
I've seen Penn and Teller in Vegas. They put on a great show.
Also, they were in a West Wing episode, Chris.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, there you go. Also want to say this as during the break. I hope I'm getting this right. Hove, probably just gonna mash this name. Hove di Mayak.
What?
I got shout out from Batangas province in the Philippines. So that's 2 Philippines listeners. And then Todd with 1D Bullen. Todd Bullen. I'm in Portugal. It's 2:50 p.m. You guys are worldwide. So we've got multiple Philippine listeners.
Hey, can you say Hove's name again?
Hove Dimayak.
Okay.
Jove.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. And then Dimayacyac. I think I got the Dimayacyac part right.
I like that. I just like the sound of it.
Dimayacyac. That's a fun name to say.
Yeah.
You know what's not a fun name to say if you're a basketball player is Steph Curry if you're playing against him. And last night, my goodness gracious, Jason, I know I think you got some highlights there. But
I actually have audio, sound bites more than audio. But I know your point. Like, I thought Steph was, Jimmy was carrying them, but Steph was the closer last night. He was a really good finisher in that game. And they haven't been able to win those elusive play-in games. And here's Steph talking about that.
We've had enough emotional roller coaster rides. The last 2 games, one didn't go our way, one did. So just a matter of sticking with it, trying to make plays down the stretch defensively, keying on certain guys. But like you said, playing it's why it's here. It's why the league created it, because it's a lot of drama. And it's nice to know what it feels like to win one. We are 1-3 now.
What a swing too, just of all of that. Kings and Mavericks were watching, obviously, to know what their fate would be. Warriors, knew what the outcome would be if they won. They're going to be the 7th seed and get the Rockets. I think that's a much better path. And, Memphis nearly stole that game from them.
I was watching the end of that, and you're absolutely right. Steph was the closer, as he's been so many times. And it's so I just don't know how you guard him. You have to be in insane cardio shape and basically be running nonstop. And I understand that a 3-pointer is worth 3 and the other shots are worth 2. So that aside, please take in your mind, Jason, the point differential away. Which is a bigger momentum swinger? For example, a Steph Curry 3 or I guess what I'm trying to say is a 3 or an alley-oop. Has Steph made it so that they're both equally as exciting?
Yeah, and I remember, I think the best example of this is when Kevin Durant was there, and Kevin Durant was so good as a Warrior. So was Steph, obviously, but Durant even said, he goes, there's just a different noise level and volume. One, he's been a Warrior his whole life, and he's very well loved down in San Francisco, as he should be. He's had an incredible career, and there's just something different about a Steph basket, whether it's a in and out dribble and he gets all the way to the lane, or those just killer threes. that erupt that arena. So I don't know that anyone else has been able to achieve that with that team. So yeah, there's something, obviously the impact of what he can do as a shooter, but just something about a Steph hoop that I think carries more weight there. But Jimmy was good yesterday, Dave. Here's Steve Kerr talking about Jimmy Butler's impact in that game.
In these big moments, these big games, he just settles you down constantly. He just told me, I don't care who guards me, just give me space, give me the ball, I'll make something happen. And that's the beauty of Jimmy. We have morphed into a different team. We've got the movement and the flow of Steph, but we've also become, for half the game, a great ISO team. We've never been an ISO team here. There's great advantage to that. Jimmy has completely changed everything for us since he's been here, and tonight was a great example of that.
And I don't want to get too far ahead of us, Jason. 3 for Madness is coming up in 3 minutes here. We're going to talk about our matchups. But when you look at this Warriors team now, let's just put Steph aside. Steph is Steph, and he's going to do Steph things. But you've got Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, both excellent defenders. And they're both, look, say what you want about Draymond, say what you want about Jimmy. They're dogs. They're dogs. They're going to get in people's faces. They're going to make sure you hold everybody accountable. I don't know if the Warriors have the depth and the overall talent to win a championship, but they have a championship caliber group of stars there that this is going to be a tough out. I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. And, I know that it was a little bit shaky to get to where they were, and they had their moments yesterday, but they do now know it's Houston, who is less experienced than them, at least as a team in the postseason. Here was Steph afterwards on now knowing that they're playing the Rockets.
Yeah, they're a great team. They're a number 2 seed for a reason. They're young, athletic, they're hard-nosed. Jalen Green playing at a high level, Sengun, up and down the roster. So it's going to be a tough physical series. We just love the opportunity to be in the playoffs again and have an opportunity to strategize and figure it out on the fly. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. This is, no matter how it plays out, this is what you love.
Well, I think looking ahead to that one too, Dave, Draymond and Dylan Brooks, that'll be something fun to watch.
Yeah, we're going to ask about our favorite matchups coming up in the playoffs, and I could definitely understand what people would say. Our guy Leezy is in the chat. I think this is a great comment by him, but I want to make sure it's understood. Leezy says, how about all those people that didn't want toxic, in quotes, toxic Jimmy? Every year he shows up. I want to go back to what we said about Jimmy for the brief period where the Kings, people were wondering if the Kings should flirt with him. I think it's very important to remember Jimmy Butler works on the Warriors. He almost certainly doesn't work on the Kings, and he probably doesn't work on about 25 at least other teams. I don't even know if Jimmy would work in Boston. It's got to be a championship style culture with defined roles and personalities. Jimmy Butler is not going to overpower Draymond Green's personality. He's not going to overpower Steph Curry's personality. Jimmy Butler on the Kings, for example, he probably would have a press conference 2 days in being like, yeah, this team's trash, man. I don't even know what the deal is. I can't find any food here, whatever. And you appreciate his honesty. But it just wouldn't work here, in my opinion. As we take a break, hey, our guy in the Philippines said, hey, you nailed the Dimmy Yak Yak part, but Jove is pronounced like Joe. So Jove Dimmy Yak Yak in Batangas, Philippines. I'm always listening, guys. Been a fan since 2000. Love you guys. Fan of the Kings. Since all the way back in 2000. So I think we did a good job pronunciating there, Jason Ross.
That's all you. Good work.
Dimmy Yak Yak. We'll take a break. What sounds like a verb. When we return, 3 for Madness. Favorite matchup, second favorite matchup, least favorite matchup. We'll take a quick look at the first round. We'll do that next.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. with daily use.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, don't forget, we got a big show for you. The Sacramento Kings begin their hopefully long run through the playoffs with a playing game tonight against Dallas. Golden One Center, 7 o'clock tip-off right here on Sacktown Sports. Coming up at 8 a.m., Chuck Cooperstein, the radio voice of the Dallas Mavericks. At 9 a.m., the TV voice analyst for your Sacramento Kings, Katie Christensen, makes her normal Wednesday stopover. In the meantime, 3 for Madness. Christopher Lott, question 1.
What is your favorite matchup of the first round?
Ooh, that's a good question, Chris. I haven't thought about that. There are a lot of really, really intriguing matchups, guys. I'm gonna say Pistons and Knicks. I know that's weird. I get it. I know that's weird, and I'm fighting between 2 matchups, but I think that this could be. I hope that it's just like maybe it's my age showing, where when I hear Pistons and Knicks in the playoffs, I'm thinking, Jeff Van Gundy and Ben Wallace and the 90s, and maybe a little Bad Boys thrown in there. But these are 2 teams that are not only very, very good. The Pistons are a wonderful story, but it just sounds like that old school defense, physical playoff type atmosphere, Madison Square Garden, then back to Auburn Hills or wherever the hell it is now, Little Caesars Arena, whatever that is. There's a lot to choose from, and I will take other answers for sure. But I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, well, the obvious answer for me is if the Kings win tonight and Friday, then putting them in. I mean, it might be a short series with the Thunder, but just if the Kings are involved, that would obviously be my first answer. But we don't know that yet, so I would say I'm still going to look out west. And actually, the series we just were talking about. I think the Rockets Warriors will be a lot of fun for multiple reasons. For the storylines, what Houston has done this year, what the Warriors have done over their 10-year run here, basically. And, last year we thought the Kings may have knocked the Warriors out as the team that we know it. Well, here they are again, and their chance back in the playoffs. And I just think with Draymond, with Dylan Brooks, with the intensity that Houston plays with the style and flair the Warriors can play with, I think that Rockets-Warriors series will be good.
There's a clip from a long time ago where Draymond Green kind of elbowed Ron Artest, and Artest turned around, and you just saw Draymond kind of shrink. And I wonder if Dylan Brooks is going to do the same thing if he tries to screw with Draymond or anyone else. I know the Rockets are favored by a 1.5 in the opening game on Sunday. I honestly, even though this is a 2-7, I got to look and see who's favored in this series. This to me is an absolute coin flip. I might even give the Warriors the edge, which is weird for a 2-7, but it's like when they played the Kings as a 6-3. Yeah. It goes beyond seeds, and they're kind of a false 7, if you will. I want to go back to something you said, though. I totally get, I admit, any series the Kings involved in is going to be not only my favorite, but my most intriguing series. But if we were in New Orleans and you and I lived out here, would you still have much interest?
No,
in a Kings
I mean it's being the Kings, fan and wanting the, I think that's strictly it. It wouldn't be.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think that series is going to get buried amongst all the other bigger markets, bigger games. I mean, the Kings will be, if they got, really Dallas, or Memphis, whoever gets there is going to be heavy underdogs against the Thunder.
Number 2, please.
2.
What is your second favorite matchup of the first round?
Okay, so I probably agree with you, Jason. It's the Rockets and Warriors. I'm just going to put that aside since you spent some time breaking that down quite well, and I agree with everything you said. There's a couple that I'm looking at here, and I don't want to list them off and steal any of your thunder. I think the one that intrigues me a lot, Bucks Pacers. Now, let me explain why. If the Bucks, who are not going to have Damian Lillard to start the playoffs, I think if the Bucks get knocked out in the first round, you're going to hear a lot of noise about Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer. It doesn't mean he's going to move, but you're going to hear a lot of noise. On the other hand, the Pacers, and I know this is a sensitive topic here, but the Pacers are kind of an up-and-coming team. I think a lot of pressure goes on Tyrese Halliburton to see if he's just kind of a fun regular season guy, or if this is a dude that legitimately can lead a team to making noise in the playoffs and eventually contending for a championship. Maybe they're just a piece away. They won 50 games this year. They finished the season on a nice hot streak. They're favored by 5.5 in their opening game with the Bucks. I just think there's a lot of storylines both on and off the floor in that matchup to make the game itself even more interesting.
Yeah, I like that series, and Indiana's played them very well in the recent memory, so that'll be something fun to watch. Yeah. I'm going to go with another one in the West, and I'm going to take the Nuggets and the Clippers. It probably doesn't have a lot of the fanfare that it should from the nation, but we still have Jokic, who might be the best player in the league. I mean, just what he's doing historically is ridiculous. And then the Clippers have been waiting and waiting and waiting to have a breakthrough. A first round wouldn't be considered the breakthrough, but they have had a really good season. They've got a good defense. They've got veterans that have been through this, that like a guy like Harden's trying to break through. Kawhi's already done it before. So I think there's storylines there that a good team is going to be eliminated, obviously. So I think watching who gets bounced out between the Nuggets and Clippers makes that first round series kind of compelling to me as my second favorite.
Question 3, please.
Question 3.
You okay?
Me?
Right? Yeah.
Did I not mute?
No, not at all. It was almost like it was amplified.
Am I? Did I? Oh, I hit the wrong mute. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you've been coughing for a bit.
No, I have this thing in my throat I can't get out, and I thought I apologize, everybody. I thought I had muted my mic. I muted the other mic. Sorry. Hello.
Hi.
For your guest you're having there later.
My what?
Your guest you're having there later. The other mic.
Yes, exactly. I don't know why I have any of these other stupid mics. Question 3, please. Bail me out of this.
What is your least favorite matchup of the first round?
Look, if I wasn't a Kings fan, well, no, if I'm being honest, it would probably be the winner of Hawks Bulls versus Cleveland would probably be my least favorite. My second least would be the Thunder and whoever they're going to play. But obviously, if the Kings make it, that's going to be a thing. I just don't have a whole heck of a lot of interest in the Magic and Celtics. I just don't. I feel like the Celtics are just going to run through them. They're favored by 14.5 in game one. Like a 14.5 point spread in the playoffs is kind of ridiculous. No offense to the Magic. Again, they've got some good young players, especially Banchero and Franz Wagner. They've got a few others, obviously, that are studs. Anthony was amazing the other night. I just don't know. I feel like this is going to be 4, maybe 5, and not particularly exciting basketball.
That's the one. I would take that, or like you said, I think the Cavs, Heat, Bulls, or Hawks. That one, whatever that becomes over there, that one, I guess it is no offense to Cleveland, but they've done their thing in a nice way and gotten a lot of attention for it. But, Boston's shown us a championship. They've always got good crowds. I'd probably lean to that 1-8 matchup in the East.
Yeah. Also, probably should have more interest in the Lakers and Timberwolves, but I don't. I don't know. I'll watch it. Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, and Luka, and all their star power there. I look at that series and it doesn't do anything for me. And then I'm thinking I should probably be more interested in this, and I don't know why I'm not.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think maybe your interest will peak if, the Lakers are down a game, right? Does it, if it's 1-0 or 2-1 Minnesota with game 4 being in Minnesota, you're going, uh-oh. Like, I think that becomes, I'm not expecting the Lakers to just cruise through this, but I do think they'll win the series. But if Minnesota makes that to where you kind of threaten the Lakers, I think that's where the draw becomes more for me in that series.
All right, we'll take a break. Brett wants to know on the chat, Kings Thunder, what do you think a game 1 spread would be? Kings Thunder, obviously game 1 would be Oklahoma City. Probably, I don't know, guys, push back on me. I think Thunder 11.5.
I was going to say it was going to be close to that Boston spread, so 14, 15.
Yeah, I might be
a guess. I mean, again, if they, whoever it is, really Thunder, Grizzlies, Thunder, Mavericks, Thunder, Kings. I mean, Thunder won so many more games than everybody there. But if it's the Kings or the Mavericks who won, 39 and 40, and they won 68 or whatever they did.
Yeah.
Man.
As you said, by the way, as you pointed out so well, well over 50 of those wins were in double digits. So we'll take a break. When we come back, hey, Nico Harrison, the GM, president of basketball operations for the Dallas Mavericks, met with the press, kind of, as we talked about yesterday. We will let you know what happened there and also some questions we have ahead of tonight's matchup with the Kings. We'll do all that right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at timbercreekgc.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Jason, you might know more about this because you've traveled with the team. You know, somebody asked on the text line at 916-339-1140 if the Kings were to win tonight.
Yeah.
They fly out tomorrow from Memphis.
Correct.
How many days of clothing do they pack their bags for? Because you would think if you win in Memphis Friday, you're not coming back Friday night, flying back. So do you basically pack to be in OKC through, I think it would be Wednesday?
Yeah, at least. I mean, there's a chance. I remember basically the NBA in the first round has, besides the weekend, so there'll be 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday. The Kings game 1, if they're involved in this, which is obviously why we're talking about the Kings, it would be Sunday. Game 2 at the earliest would be Tuesday. This isn't set yet. I think it could go as late as Wednesday, maybe even Thursday. That would be really rare because they're going to probably have 2 to 3 games on Monday, 2 to 3 games on Tuesday, 2 to, so on and so forth to fill that second matchup. So I would bet they would pack for leaving Thursday through about Thursday, maybe a week. That's the longest they would be there.
Okay.
Maybe Thursday through Wednesday.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess, I remember doing this last year. I packed a little bit to go to New Orleans, which we did, and we were ready to go to OKC if they had won, but they did not and came home.
Well, we'll see. A lot of work cut out for them. And no matter what happens, at least the Kings are not in the position that the Dallas Mavericks are, at least PR-wise. Nico Harrison, their president of basketball operations, Jason, met with the press yesterday. We told you about this late in the show. Less than 24 hours notice for the press. No recording devices or filming or any of that around. Although you got to think somebody snuck in an iPhone on voice memos or something. The highlights, if you will, whatever you want to call it, is he has no regrets over the trade. Not that I think he would say he did. And he kept kind of piling in that defense wins championships, that you're not. And to his point, Kyrie Irving got hurt. Anthony Davis, they've played like 1 game together or something stupid. And he was quoting some defensive metrics. What's funny, Jason, is I saw a write-up that said it was laying out just actually how very good the Mavs were defensively last year, and all the way up to their run to the finals. And that was with Luka Doncic. I still find myself wondering, though, even if I can get past, hey, they know Luka a lot better than we do, and maybe behind the scenes, he was basically like Fat Thor in the Avengers, just hammered all the time and whatever. And
he's a big boy.
They were going to give him, whatever, $500 million or whatever it was going to be, and they just didn't want to commit to him. Even if I can get past the philosophy of we have to trade Luka Doncic, it's not just that I disagree with what Nico Harrison did. I actually think the more and more I think about it, Jason, through the weeks and months now, there's something else going on. There's something that is really weird. And we've talked about this with the Mavericks situation, with Cuban giving up his ownership stake, his majority ownership stake. Then you have you follow that a year later with this Luka thing. And this is really where I'm getting conspiratorial, because why the Lakers and why? And his response is, well, I didn't want agents to mess it up. Dude, it's Luka Doncic. If you're going to trade him and open it up like the Kings did with Fox, why would you not get whatever just to remind everybody, the Lakers traded Luka Doncic for a 30-plus-year-old Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 Laker first-round pick. Now, if defense wins championships, Jason, I would submit to you the following. I don't think I'm looking at the list of the top 40 defensive players in the NBA right now. I don't think there's a player on this list that they can't get for Luka Doncic, with even more coming back. And I would submit to you this. Do you think if Nico Harrison called the Memphis Grizzlies and said, "Hey, we'll give you Luka Doncic. We want Jaren Jackson Jr. and a bunch back," you think Memphis says no?
Probably not. But I guess my pushback is: you're not putting Anthony Davis in that kind of elite defensive list?
Anthony Davis is 100% elite defensively. Anthony Davis also can't stay on the floor.
Well,
And
no,
Anthony,
that's true. Yeah.
then he's also aging, if you will, and his age is a little bit agier than most other people. Max Christie and a first-round pick. Now, I'm pretty damn sure that somewhere out there was a younger, healthier, wonderfully defensively gifted player that would probably also have come along with somebody, no offense to Max Christie, but better than Max Christie. And when you have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert getting 4 first-round picks, when you have Mikal Bridges getting 5 first-round picks, I refuse to believe that Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick, it's just absolute malpractice. It makes no sense. It is not what you should have gotten for Luka Doncic. So I got a conspiracy theory for you. You ready?
Okay.
Rob Pelinka, remember what he did before he was GM? Rob Pelinka was a sports agent. Rob Pelinka dealt with all kinds of people, athletes, endorsements, shoe companies. Nico Harrison, before he was a general manager, Nico Harrison was a high-ranking executive for a little tiny shoe company called Nike. Some pronounce it Nike. Nico Harrison is also the guy that famously jacked up and botched the Steph Curry pitch when they were trying to get him to Nike. Misspelled his name, had old Kevin Durant slides in the PowerPoint. Steph Curry goes to Under Armour. I absolutely refuse to believe that Nico Harrison, a former Nike exec, working with Rob Pelinka, a former sports agent, in arguably the biggest, if not second biggest franchise there is, the Lakers. By the way, in-conference superstar trading also almost never happens. Something tells me Nike was involved in this. Nike influenced this. And by the way, I'm not the only one that thinks this. Get Luka to Los Angeles, play him with LeBron James. You owe us for the Steph Curry debacle, and you're gonna have to work somewhere else someday. We'll make sure you're well taken care of. And if you don't believe in conspiracies, I'm with you. If you think I'm a little off my rocker, I am. I would just simply say this. Nico Harrison's job is to get max value off of anybody he trades, no matter who it is. There is no world in which Nico Harrison got max value for Luka Doncic. Now he has to go through Luka Doncic and the Lakers in his own conference, which is unheard of to do. And he just traded Luka Doncic to a team that just a few years ago was gifted another generational superstar in LeBron James via free agency, who promptly had Anthony Davis force his way out of New Orleans. Jason, why are we not talking more when everybody wants to talk about the NBA being rigged? How is this not one of the most rigged situations this to me, honest to God, this is me saying this. This to me is almost more suspicious than Game 6 of 2002. This is legitimately there should be a full-blown investigation. I want to see phone records. I want Nico Harrison under oath answering, why did you not? What would have been the drawback to involving anyone else, and why would that outweigh the lack of talent you got back? Like, something's fishy here.
Is the bigger issue, and I know they probably go hand in hand, but I'm going to try to get you to pick one, and I think I know where you'll pick. Just the fact that they traded him, or for the lack of what you believe they got back in return, the bigger issue?
It's like I started. I can't imagine trading Luka Doncic, but I'm trying to give them some grace. Again, he was Fat Thor behind the scenes, whatever it was. He was just a mess. His handlers were terrible. His dad was overbearing, and they knew all along. You know, it's kind of like how things came out about Mike Budenholzer afterwards.
Right.
Nobody in the organization wanted to deal with him. He had to go. Let's just even get there. Let's for the sake of argument get that Luka Doncic had to go, and Dallas couldn't responsibly re-sign him. They're obviously not going to leak any of that stuff because it would tank his value a little bit. I can arrive there. I can get myself there. But then when I see that not only did they only, no offense to Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round Lakers 2029 pick, that is not anywhere close to value for Luka. And you kept it in conference.
Yeah, it's funny to me. Look, I'm not trying to defend Dallas in this case because I think everybody was stunned when it happened. I'm on the list of people as well. But when it did happen, and I thought what Dallas did, I didn't think they got enough in return either. That's not my point. But I thought, well, if AD is healthy, which is obviously the biggest if, and with Kyrie and what they had coming back and that front court and Clay and Dinwiddie and Gafford and Lively, and like, in the short term, I actually think they may be okay. Now, Kyrie got hurt. AD's been hurt. So, I mean, that kind of leads to the whole problem. Will any of this change for you, Dave, if let's just go over the next 5 years and the Lakers are just this team, which is good, but is a 2 to 6 seed and doesn't win anything? Anything change, or is it still just because they traded Luka Doncic?
I mean, we just saw Luka Doncic lead his team to within 4 wins of an NBA championship literally a year ago.
Right.
And to the walkthrough you just did with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, they might win 50-something games next year. It's not about Anthony Davis for me as much as it is that can't be the best. You want a great defensive stopper. There's others out there that are younger and healthier and better. Not to mention the picks you should have gotten back. Not to mention you should have had. I'm not saying you should have gotten 2 superstars out of it, but you should have gotten a star, and you should have gotten a very good rotational player or starter. By the way, the Kings probably would have given up De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray. They probably would have given up Sabonis, Fox, and Keegan Murray and 2 first-round picks for Luka Doncic. I mean, the only player the Spurs wouldn't have given up was Victor Wembanyama, and that they probably could have gotten Giannis Antetokounmpo out of the Bucks.
Yeah, you might be right. Hey, by the way, I want to go back and clean up you asked about the Kings and the travel and all that, or whoever gets there. Game 2 would be Tuesday in OKC.
Okay, so then they would they would leave after the game Friday, or they'd probably leave Saturday, and they'd have to pack through Tuesday night.
Yeah, they'd be back here Tuesday, after game 2. Okay.
We'll take a break.
If they get that far.
When we come back, let's talk about the Kings and pressure now, as we're going to get into the meat of the program where we really start previewing tonight's matchup. Chuck Cooperstein, the voice of the Mavs, will join us at 8 a.m., Katie at 9, and a lot of Kings in between. But coming up next, guys, who has the most at stake on the Kings? Player, owner, coach, Slamson, Jason Ross. Let's go through where the pressure's at. We'll get to that next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, a little historical perspective on Jacob Wilson's 15-game hitting streak to begin the season, which ended on the 13th against the Mets. In the expansion era, the only longer streak by an Athletic to start a season, Stan Javier hit in 17 straight in 1994. The Athletics record, Hank Majeski, 19 straight in 49. Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business with reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solution, and Wi-Fi backup. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. For details on special offers, including free professional installation and up to a $500 Visa prepaid card on qualifying internet bundles, log on to business.comcast.com. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 connected propane grill with infrared side and rear burner is a dynamic evolution in grilling. Featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, it brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperature, set timers, and receive high temp warnings all from your smartphone. With temperature probes and LCD display, you'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime, entertaining, and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
In the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Christopher Lott, earlier I stole accidentally your Who's Not. Have you replaced it yet?
Not yet.
All right. I'm going to send you right now a Who's Not that crushes the previous Who's Not as my way of saying sorry for stealing your Who's Not.
This is also like a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, that is coming up in Who's Hot, Who's Not. That is Chris has in his hands a pretty insane stat that he will share with all of you. And Jason, I believe, why don't we do that at 8:43 today?
That sounds like a good time. Why not?
Yeah, we'll do that at 8:43. Yeah, Chuck Cooperstein joining us in about 12 minutes. In the meantime, so first real view today of Dallas versus Sacramento tonight. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Who's got all the pressure? And I want to give you just kind of a top line. Is it Zach LaVine? The Bulls are playing over there, and the Bulls have a better record since the trade than the Kings do. Again, the Bulls playing tonight. Maybe they win, the Kings lose, or they both keep winning. There's this, people comparing the two, which is probably silly, but it happens. Is it Domantas Sabonis, who's not built for the playoffs and who Kevon Looney shut down 10 years ago or whatever, so he sucks? Is it DeMar DeRozan, who left the Raptors, and the Raptors shortly thereafter won a world championship? Is DeMar a guy who is made for the playoffs, and he doesn't have a lot of time left in that career? Is it Doug Christie trying to get a coaching job and prove that he can be the guy to lead this team? Normally, this would be like the dominant storyline would be, are they going to retain Doug Christie next year? Because let's be honest, I don't know that this will work. It certainly was an exception from Luke Walton into Mike Brown, but Doug, who has roots here, who was a broadcaster here after being a player and then went on to the coaching staff with Luke Walton, then became an assistant to Mike Brown, then became the head coach when Mike was let go. I don't know that this is going to happen this way. I hope it does not, but you would think odds are, based on what normally happens, if Doug Christie was replaced next year, that coach is probably going to want his own staff. And Doug's going to want to pursue another head coaching gig, which means we might lose Doug from the community, at least during the NBA season. So there's a lot of pressure to go around. And I haven't even gotten to Vivek Ranadive and Monty McNair, but is there anybody that stands out to you?
Honestly, I think it is Doug. And he's not playing. He's evaluated. All right. Your coaches are evaluated on wins and losses. And how did you do? Your challenges, your timeouts, your rotations, who you played, your adjustments, all that. The reason I would say Doug is this, Dave. I think no matter if Sabonis, LaVine, DeRozan, who you mentioned, any other player plays great, plays terribly, they all have contracts. They're all going to be either Kings or somewhere in the league. We don't know about Doug yet, right? I mean, as much as I want him to be here, I want him to be here for the most successful coach the Kings have ever had. That's what I would root for, but none of that is guaranteed. I don't know truly what the front office and overall management thinks of him and of the job he's done. I think he's done a great job, but that's not my decision. So I would say, as far as future on the line, I don't know that it should be on this game tonight, but it could be, right? I mean, if it's a bad home loss, that's probably a tougher one to bring the entire team back. But if that meant they moved on from Sabonis or moved on from DeRozan or LaVine, those guys all will be in the NBA next year and have a job. I don't know if the same would be for Doug. So that's why I guess I would lean towards Doug as the most, if that makes sense.
I feel like, and trying to predict what this franchise is going to do is off the floor is about as tough as trying to predict what they'll do on the floor. But I feel like if the Kings, regardless of how it happened, if the Kings lost tonight, I think that would do more damage to people's futures than the positives that would come out of them winning. And what I mean is, if they lost tonight, they were one and done, and they went home off their home floor, I think you would be far more likely to have all kinds of clear outs happen. Yes. Whereas I don't think if they beat Dallas and lost to Memphis, I just don't know I don't even know if even that win against Dallas would be like, well, we didn't win a playoff game. I just don't know that would even factor in.
Yeah, but when you say more clear outs, are you saying front office, coach, players too? I mean, players are harder to do, not that they can't be moved and dealt and traded. And there's a few guys that you'd have to decide whether you're re-signing them, like a Lyles and so on and so forth. But if we're kind of looking at the core players, you think there would be some serious movement amongst the guys we mentioned, DeRozan, LaVine, Sabonis?
I highly, highly doubt LaVine would get moved for a myriad of reasons. Number one, he has an incredibly immovable contract. Number two, this ownership has been fascinated by Zach LaVine since Vlade was here. And number three, to move LaVine in the offseason, unless it was unless somebody offered you Luka or that type of deal like we just talked about, I think it would be an admission that they completely tanked the Fox trade. So I would put LaVine down as one of the least likely guys to move. I think the guy that is most likely to be moved, other than, as you said, Trey Lyles is out of contract, you're going to see some maneuverations. But I think DeMar DeRozan, whose contract is another year plus, I think, at 25-ish a year. It's not a tremendously huge contract. It's a big contract. It's not huge. And DeRozan's a guy that can not only plug in and give you 20-plus points a game, but also, especially, whether you're bringing him on as another piece to a title contender, I doubt, or you're bringing him into a younger up-and-coming team that needs clutch scoring and a veteran presence. I think DeRozan's movable. I don't think you're going to get a ton back for him, but I do think he's movable. So, yeah, I would say if I had to rank entities or people that I thought were most likely to move this offseason outside of the Trey Lyles types, I think number one most likely would be DeMar DeRozan. Number two would be Doug. Number three would be Monty.
Yeah, okay. I see it.
Yeah. Again, that's not what I'm pulling for. And I think,
right, of course.
And obviously some of those things can, and you never know. We may be looking at Keegan Murray and a first round pick but you just don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. But the first thing they're going to have to do is, and I hope they do it right away. If you're going to make a move in that front office, you better do it. If you're going to make a move with the coach, you better do it. Get it all in place before. Well, I guess it doesn't matter with the draft. That is maybe that does allow them to do whatever. They don't necessarily have to worry about the draft unless they maneuver up, because that pick is almost certainly going to Atlanta unless they win the lottery. It'll be a very interesting offseason. But listen, we're not there yet. We're not even close. This team, Jason, I've said it before, this team is 18 wins from a championship right now.
It's almost too easy, Dave.
You can smell it.
Yes.
Either that or that's the beignets. We'll take a break. When we come back, Chuckles Cooperstein himself. Don't call him that. He is the legendary radio voice of the Dallas Mavericks. Kind enough to join us this morning as we start the second half of the program. Coming up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
The following is sponsored by Bid My Listing. Selling your home? With Ready, R-E-D-Y, the best real estate agents will pay you up front for your listing. 2, 5, as much as $10,000 for the chance to sell your home. Now, why would they pay you to be your agent? Well, in today's market, your listing is really valuable. So as an agent, if they're smart, they'll go to Ready and offer you cash up front for your listing. And you do want a smart agent that'll get you the most for your listing, right? So when you're ready to sell, give us a call and give us the basic information about your property, and we'll notify those smart agents who signed up with Ready. And within 48 hours, they'll be competing to sell your home. You pick the best one and get paid thousands up front. Call 888-551-READY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Wednesday. Getting out the door to a cool and refreshing beginning to the day. A lot of cloud cover, but those clouds will slowly thin out. Looking at mostly sunny skies this afternoon, a bit of a delta breeze and highs in the low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Have you heard? Kohl's has 2 exclusive new home brands, Mariana and Mingle & Co. From luxe favorites that are all about turning your space into a sanctuary to fun mix and match dining essentials, there's so much to discover, and trust me, you're gonna love everything. Plus, you can get an extra 15% off throughout the store and earn Kohl's cash. So hurry to Kohl's today and bring it home for less. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends April 19th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your next adventure is waiting at Sky River Casino with a $500,000 travel around the world giveaway. Get 1 free daily entry and 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Earn more entries by playing slots and table games. Join us every Saturday, where you can pack your bags as our guaranteed $15,000 dream vacation winner. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Sacramento Kings basketball.
The Sacramento Kings have moved and pulled off the improbable.
The run to the playoffs.
Here's a steal by Kia. Career high 6. Breakaway. Hammer time.
On Sacktown Sports 1140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through the week.
Your week. So right now, I need every single listener on their feet. Callers, texters, YouTubers. Make some noise for Sacramento's favorite sports morning show. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and the man behind the glass, Chris Berlon.
There we go.
Davis spikes it through off the feed for Thompson, and a timeout taken by Quinn Snyder. 32 points and 13 rebounds for Anthony Davis. 10 straight points for the Mavericks as they open up a 12-point lead with 10:15 remaining.
Yeah, we don't throw the word legendary around that often, but this guy fits the bill.
I can't hear you.
You cannot hear us. Let's see. That's not on us. Or maybe it is.
I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Call me on the phone.
You got it.
Okay. We got it? Okay. We got it. All right. Well, we will be introing Chuck Cooperstein here momentarily. We'll get him on the phone and get that all situated. Chris Verlot will shoot him a phone call. But honest to goodness, very good voice of the Dallas Mavericks. I'm vamping right now. Chuck Cooperstein, who has been through the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, the all arounds when it comes to Dallas. We, as you will remember, we had Mark Followill on yesterday, and he gave us that breakdown. And as we get into this evening and what's going on from the Sacramento Kings perspective, obviously getting that Dallas perspective with everything they've dealt with this year. And I got to imagine, that's why with Mark, especially last year or yesterday. I was trying to be a little sensitive to the fact that these guys have probably every single show they've ever done for the last 2 months is Luka this, Luka that, Luka this. Well, they've got life without Luka. Sometimes moves get made. They have no control over them, and their job is to not only bring the action to the listener or to the viewer or a combination of both, but also to ultimately analyze the team with what they have, Jason. And that's in fact, when you look into tonight, with or without, this is still a very talented Dallas team.
Yeah, for sure. And, we're going to get Chuck here any second here, Dave. And, he's seen every game that they've played. They've been much like the Kings. There's been different versions of the Sacramento Kings. I'm sure for Dallas, they felt like they've had different versions of their team. And Dave, Chuck, the fine radio voice of the Dallas Mavericks, is kind enough to join us right now.
Well, good morning, Chuck. How are you? Sorry for the bit of the technical difficulty. We're just glad to have you with us. How are you?
Sometimes it's just good to go back to the 50s. Just do it on the phone.
Yes.
Right. All this
good to be here.
All this newfangled StreamYard crap. Here we go. We just need your voice more than anything. Certainly our faces aren't going to sell any tickets. Chuck, coming in tonight, and I was just saying before we introduced you, we can't imagine the whole De'Aaron Fox trade. I think for a lot of us at some point, it's like, God, look, he's gone. We've talked about it to every market in the country. I gotta think it's similar with you and Luka. And I'll just simply ask you, biggest difference on this team post trade to pre-trade?
Well, injuries certainly have had a lot to do with it because it's not so much that Luka was traded, although that's obviously the most significant thing. But everybody got hurt. And, Lively was hurt prior to the trade. Gafford got hurt right after the trade. Kyrie got hurt a month later. And everybody else at some point or another had some type of malady that for basically about 2 weeks, the Mavericks were playing with no more than 9 available players on any given night. So you had Kessler Edwards, who you guys know from Sacramento. I mean, we had him playing as a center. Out of necessity. We had absolutely no size. So that's kind of a more macro view. But look, this team's heart was ripped out of it, and this fan base's heart and this city's heart was ripped from it with the trade and the aftermath of the trade, and frankly how the organization has handled it to the point where. It's become very difficult for people in Dallas to like the Mavericks right now. And that's a shame because I think Jason Kidd's done some of his best coaching this year, trying to maneuver this thing with all the injuries that he's had. With the knowledge that the West has been absolutely brutal, which we all knew it was going to be during the course of the season and played out the way we all thought it would.
Well, and Chuck, and now the spot that they're in, much like the Kings, they don't have to worry about the biggest picture yet. They just have to worry about one at a time. And the first chance is tonight in Sacramento. They haven't had a long runway to play all those guys because of the injuries, as you've mentioned. But what are we going to see tonight with what Dallas has, with that big front line? What do you think would be the best-looking Mavs team the Kings would see tonight?
That Anthony Davis goes for about 30 and 20. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, they're going to play everything through him, as opposed to playing the high pick and roll game that they played with Luka. Now they've decided to play with Davis as the fulcrum of their offense. Excuse me. But the thing that has really become alarming over the last since Davis returned, but even prior to that, is their absolute lack of three-point shooting, and they're not only the inability to make, but simply to take. They don't have people to take three-pointers other than Klay Thompson, and Klay has taken the fewest shots per game in his career. I mean, Davis is going to have to be great. I think Klay had a couple of really good games against the Kings, including the game, in Dallas right before the DeRozan make to win the game. I mean, I think Clay's got to get at least 15 shots up tonight, at least 15. And if he doesn't, that's just a problem. 3 of the last 8 games the Mavericks have played, they've been outscored by 30 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
I mean, we all hate analytics, right? And we all, don't want to talk about the math game, but this is such obvious math that it really is problematic for Dallas right now, and it's something that has to be addressed tonight, but difficult to do when you have guys like Davis who really can't stretch the floor. I mean, Najee Marshall has been terrific for the Mavericks, but he can't stretch the floor. Spencer Dinwiddie, who had a great game up here in December. He blows incredibly hot and cold. Jaden Hardy is very much the same way there. Caleb Martin, when he plays, can't shoot. Max Christie can shoot, but has been inconsistent. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from tonight, but I do think that ultimately that is the key to the game, because I do know this as it relates to Sacramento. They may run hot and cold as well from 3, and DeRozan really doesn't take very many threes. But I do know against the Mavericks, he takes a bunch of threes and he makes them. And that becomes extremely problematic at that point.
Well, the key to DeRozan, just you can pass this on to Jason Kidd. Maybe don't actually. Is if his toe is even on the line, it seems like his shooting percentage goes down about 30%. Just know that Jason Kidd made a living out of taking toe on the line 2-pointers. I mean, and he still made a bunch of threes in his career, but no one stood on the line more than he did. The legendary voice of the Dallas Mavericks, Chuck Cooperstein, joining us ahead of tonight's matchup right here on Sacktown Sports. Tip-off at 7 p.m. You mentioned Klay Thompson, and trade aside, look, Klay Thompson has championship experience. He's got a pedigree. Anthony Davis, same thing. So you've got these, and Kyrie Irving, obviously, if he was playing, but still in the locker room. Klay also, the last time he in the postseason, went 1 for 10 in this very building.
That's 0 for 10. That's 0 for 10.
Oh,
excuse me. Thank you. 0 for 10. I was trying to be nice. 0 for 10 in this building. So one of the storylines, and I think you really hit on it, Chuck, is this is some people have forgotten about Klay Thompson a little bit, and maybe he's getting older, and maybe there's a reason for it, but he's got a chance. This is also the same guy, Jason, you'll remember this, Chuck, you might too. What was it, 40-something points in the quarter or something stupid he did against
37.
37. See, not the numbers guy, me. So Klay Thompson has a mixed history with this team, but my God, if he gets on fire, look out.
Well, Klay's had a really good year. I really believe he came in and did exactly what was envisioned when they brought him in July. He spread the floor. He's taken more threes as a percentage of his shots than at any time in his career. And he shot 39% from 3. He may not be, the Splash Brother-esque that he was, prior to all the injuries, but he still moves his feet defensively. And he can absolutely shoot, and he can absolutely get on fire, and he's going to have to get on fire tonight. So yes, he's very much an important note in this game. Whatever feelings he has toward what happened in this building last year, I don't know what he's thinking. I would like to think that most NBA players on some level, once the game starts, they have amnesia. They don't think about that, but it's clearly something that you and I can talk about, and that media and fans can talk about leading up to the game, because it absolutely is a storyline.
Chuck, what's interesting, you talked about probably the reality of what Dallas is going to want to do is go heavy through AD, which makes a ton of sense. Kings will utilize Sabonis. They'll utilize DeRozan in a game that has so many good point guards out there. I feel like tonight neither team really has a true natural point guard. That'll be a unique kind of, winner go home matchup with either team not really having that truly defined point guard out there.
It's crazy, right? There are so many great point guards in the NBA, and both of these teams are struggling to find that initiator. The Mavericks at the beginning of the year, really wanted to take some of the pressure off of Luka, and Luka's usage at the time of the trade was the lowest it had been in 5 years, because they did have Kyrie, and they did have Washington, and they did have Marshall and other people to just get the ball across the midcourt line, so he wouldn't have to do all that stuff. Well, but now you don't, with Luka gone and Kyrie hurt, you don't have that guy that once you do get it across the line that you can get it to and then really start running your actions and seeing, where ultimately it goes. I don't know what to expect tonight. I really don't. This team they've just been through hell and back, but they've been incredibly resilient. They played incredibly hard for Jason all year. Sunday in Memphis aside, and the day in Cleveland that when everybody was a zombie, aside, there have been very few games where they have not delivered an incredible effort. Now that may not be good enough to win the game. And let's face it, they've had their issues with Sacramento this year, but at the same time, Gafford got hurt in the first Sacramento game in Dallas. Kyrie got hurt in the second game in Dallas. Both of those games were both those injuries happened in the first quarter. So, were their minds right that night? Well, here, tonight, again, I'm going to assume that nobody's getting hurt tonight. Although with the Mavericks, it seems like every game somebody's gotten hurt. Where is your mind in the third quarter? When the game is close and you're playing hard. And one other point to make too. I don't know what Brandon Williams' status is for tonight. I guess we'll find out soon enough. But he's the one guy. Now he's not a pure point guard. There's a lot more Kyrie or Jason Terry, in his game. But what he had done for this team in the month of March was really quite remarkable in that he was able to get them playing faster. Jason Kidd always talks about the speed that he plays with, and that helped get the Mavericks a lot easier shot. Guy averaged almost 17 a game in the month of March. He shot over 54%. They were thrilled to get him back when they signed to a contract on Friday, to make him eligible for the playoffs. And then he got hurt in the first quarter on Sunday against Memphis, which I guess is emblematic of everything that's happened to the Mavericks this season.
Chuck, needless to say, it has been an interesting season for y'all in Dallas, and it continues. Certainly not over yet. We talked to your counterpart yesterday, Mark Followell, and we know what it's like to work with or for teams where things happen out of our control, and there's nothing we can do. And you feel for fans, and you got to get through it. And I think you guys, for what it's worth, have done just a phenomenal job in keeping your eye on the ball this year, and really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Well, appreciate you having me, and have fun over there tonight.
All right, you take care. That is Chuck Cooperstein, the radio voice of the Dallas Mavericks. I would say good luck, but honestly, bad luck. Bad luck tonight, Mavericks. Not bad injury luck, bad basketball luck. I want Clay to go 0 of 11.
That's fine. Yeah, top it. See if you can top it, Clay.
Why not, Clay? We'll take a break. When we come back, Kings, Mavs, let's look at the season history going back all the way to December 30th when they played their first game. We know the Kings went 3-0 against them, but how did that happen? We'll get to all that as we really get into our preview of play-in game number 1 coming up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. All right, I know what you're thinking. Here we go again, another Drapes commercial for his guys and girls down there at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. But trust me, listen to this. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they'll take care of you. Trust me, they got certified pre-owned vehicles starting at 3.49 APR on select 2021, 22, and 23 models. And take it from me, when you go to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you leave out feeling like you're valued, like they trust you, like they care for you. Matter of fact, it's like they're your family. That's right. So for over 30 years, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has been there for the entire community. And get this, it's not that far away, guys. Just a short drive down I-5, or of course, online anytime at mbfstockton.com. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and tell them Drape sent you.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
The final 7 seconds ticking away. For the 4th time this year, the Kings in wire-to-wire fashion have gotten a victory on a night where the opponent never had the lead. The Kings led this one by as many as 32. They improved their record to 32-28. They gain a game on Dallas. So Sacramento will be in that number 9 spot and still close quarters in the scramble for playoff and play-in opportunities in the Western Conference. Final score in this one is 122-98.
Voice of the Grizzlies.
Who?
It's Eric Hasseltine. Why was I saying that? Because he just literally texted me. Voice of the Kings. It's Gary Gerald. Welcome back, Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, in the final hour.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
Pretty much. Plus, our guy in the chat, Charms, is our Reddit resident. He's not. I mean, I'm just going to say it. I mean this with all respect. He's not entirely sane, and that's fine. But he was saying I jinxed the Kings as I was signing out, and I just no one is more jinx aware than I. I don't know
every single thing that every fan does at home or at the stadium makes a direct impact in the game.
Mm-hmm. Saying I hope Klay Thompson goes 0 for 12 is not a jinx. Saying Klay Thompson's going to go 0 for 12 tonight, that's a jinx. Saying tonight is game 1 of the play-in, that's not a jinx. Saying tonight is the first of the Kings' 2 play-in games, that's a jinx. How is that hard to understand?
I understand the jinx rules.
Very easily.
But couldn't this be considered a jinx by talking about the jinx?
No. No, you're acknowledging. No, opposite. You're acknowledging that the jinx is out there. You're respecting the jinx. You're acknowledging it and giving it respect so that it does not turn on you. There's like a lot of people huffing paint out there. Is that a thing again now? What's
very
going on?
Possible. Yeah.
Stop huffing paint. Anyways, that's my message for today. Stop huffing paint. It's not good for you. It smells weird. Kings Mavs 3-0. The Sacramento Kings went against Dallas this year. Jason, we started.
How do you know it smells weird?
Well, I've smelled paint before, haven't you? I imagine.
All right.
I imagine huffing it is that times 100.
Just making sure.
Don't jinx it.
Just saying. I mean, I used to sniff Ditto paper. That's something that ages me, but that happened. I guarantee you, Jason did. You never sniffed the Ditto paper, Jay?
Yesterday.
What's Ditto paper?
Yeah, exactly. That we came in on the end of the Ditto papering, but once upon a time, there would be a special printing process in school, and kids would get. It just basically think of it as you got like a paper off a copy machine, but they were called Ditto papers, I believe, because of the process. But they had a very unique smell to them, and I don't think you could get high off of smelling them. But that didn't mean every kid didn't snort that Ditto paper right away in school. Happened. It's a real thing.
I actually looked it up, and the first picture under that's from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but they're all smelling the paper. They show the classroom.
When they got it in when they all pick up their papers and just sniff it right away. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyways, 3-0.
Yep.
110, 100. That was Doug Christie's first win. It's always going to mean something. You can't ever repeat your first. Your first is always special.
Right.
No Klay, no Kyrie, no Luka. And not only that, but I forgot about this, Jason. That's right. The Kings had lost to the Lakers. They'd fired Mike Brown. Everything was crazy. And then they come back, and they were down 18 against Dallas.
Yeah, at that time, remember that there was, as you said, no Klay, no Kyrie, no Luka, and you're thinking, well, they'll probably win tonight at least, and they're down by 18 at home. And what I do remember, it wasn't even that. I remember thinking, man, this is probably the night, which I'm not a fan of this as fans booing, but I'm like, this is boo-worthy. Like, this probably should be doing it. I feel like everybody was just stunned at what they were watching, and then the Kings turned it around.
Yeah, which really launched quite the nice run for them. But in the moment, it was like, Doug,
right?
Team, somebody, can we do something? Ended up working out well. Game 2, February 10th, 129-128 in a game the Kings were not favored in. DeRozan had 42. Davis was out. Gafford got hurt in the game. Look, scores and or not scores, but storylines and teams aside, that was actually a pretty damn entertaining game.
Oh, yeah. And then DeRozan, what was funny about that, he obviously hit the game winner, but he dribbled into that double team on the baseline. That's one of his sweet spots, and he stepped through that and hit the runner, and they won the game. It was probably ill-advised, but they got the result that they wanted.
Yeah, that was one of those DeRozan last-minute plays that actually worked out for a change.
Yep.
No fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. And then game 3, Jason. Game 3, again, Kings, of course, win 122-98. No Sabonis. Jonas Valanciunas started. No AD again for the Mavs. And that's where Kyrie Irving got hurt. And that really, the Luka trade changed the course of the team. So did that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Chuck, that, look, there's two teams that are, these teams are okay. They've had ups and down years for sure. And the fact that Dallas at one point had Luka and Kyrie, so that you feel like you are as stacked as possible at that point guard position. Either one could play it. They played together, combo guards, whatever. They were covered. Well, the Kings felt pretty good about that spot too earlier day with Fox and Monk. And, well, Fox is gone. Luka's gone. And then you got Kyrie and Malik hurt. So, like, neither team has a real point guard tonight.
No, and I thought that was a great point you brought up with Chuck, because you're right. With all the craziness with point guards out there, there's some seriously amazing point guards. And neither of this team really has one. Although sometimes I wonder, let me just play dumb guy here. I see Malik Monk, I know he's not playing tonight, but he can throw 7-8 assists in a game. He's had double-digit assists. You've got DeRozan, who can get a high level of assists. Sabonis can get you 10 assists any night. Is the whole term real point guard overrated, or are we too looking too much into assists, which is just a tiny part of what a point guard does?
Right. I think that, because again, I think you said it. I mean, Sabonis, even while Fox was here or anyone else, he's going to get assists. I mean, they run a lot of stuff through him, and he just has the ability to find people. Jokic does the same thing. I think where I look at it as, one, if there's full court pressure or backcourt pressure being applied by the other team. The other part is, and I think we've heard it and we'll hear it more as we continue to play clips throughout the day, the Kings want to play fast today. And I think generally, if you're rebounding and outletting to DeMar DeRozan, can he handle the ball? Absolutely. But I don't feel like he obviously wouldn't push the ball as fast as De'Aaron Fox. Now, that's a tough comp because De'Aaron's as fast as anybody with the basketball. But I think a point guard kind of knows the game plan better, has run those things for years, and can kind of get you into what at least your scheme is a little bit easier than non-traditional point guards. Doesn't mean the other guys can't. And since both teams are in that spot, it's probably going to just, cancel each other out. But I just think it's always better to have someone that has done that for years in that spot.
In 2002, the Kings won in 5 games in the Western Conference semis. 2003, the Mavs, that was a tough year.
That's when Webb got hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 4-3, 7-game series. They won in the Western Conference semis. And then in 2004, Kings beat them again in 5 games in the first round. We'll take a break. Jason's got sound for you next. What are the Kings themselves saying about the matchup? We've got audio for you next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Michelob Ultra and Carl's Jr. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Barrio Speedway.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I just saw a stat on one of our beautiful televisions here in the studio, and it was, and I just would be curious. You know what? I'll ask it the way you would ask me. It says it gave the percentage chance of the Rockets to win their series, which we now know it's the Warriors, but it also had the Thunder, the percentage chance. So we don't know the other opponent, whether that's going to be the Grizzlies, the Kings, or the Mavericks. But what would you say the percentage chance that the Thunder have of advancing, according to whatever stat I just saw on there?
The Thunder have advancing over whoever is their
whether it's the Kings, the Mavericks, or the Grizzlies. So
I would say, honest to God, I would say 97.
Okay. Chris, just curious.
92.
Okay. So what I saw was lower than I thought it would be, and it was 87.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they find out it's the Kings, it's probably going to go down to
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Kings in 4.
Kings in 3, guys. Come on.
Where is that Suns in 4 guy now?
He is now an investment banker.
Riding the wave.
Don't say.
Didn't they make an action figure for him?
They did.
They did. Or then again, that's like the new thing now that everyone's doing online. It's really annoying. Everybody has an action figure. Don't say, by the way, don't say Kings in 4, guys. Jinx.
Oh.
Don't jinx it. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah, let's talk about the Kings. Let's talk about the matchup tonight. Jason, there was practice yesterday. Do we in fact have sound from there from anyone?
We do.
We do? Well, hey, you know what, Jason? Mike, over to you. Who are we talking to?
Well, let's hear first from the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. He gives us a little perspective on the Dallas Mavericks. That is Doug Christie talking about what changes in this matchup if we see Anthony Davis more at the 4 instead of at the 5.
A lot, man. Because he's a monster. Like he doesn't have to worry about battling with the big guys. Probably not in as many pick and roll coverages. Rim protection is probably a bit different. He's just a problem, period. But when you start to take him and put him on smaller players, his advantage continues to escalate.
Okay. I mean, they do have a unique setup now with Gafford, with Lively, with AD, heck, with PJ Washington. I mean, they're going to be big. And that can present some challenges, and that's why I think rebounding, getting in transition. I love that Chuck told us earlier, Dave, Chuck Cooperstein, the Mavs voice, that they have really struggled with the 3. Well, the Kings are the worst 3-point defense in the league. So I like that. Doesn't mean, tonight's not the night where Dallas gets hot, but I at least like that going in.
Yeah, I do too. Can I ask you like a really obviously dumb classic ding dong sports radio question?
Okay.
Do you get the feeling that one of the teams tonight is going to win this game, or one of the teams tonight is going to lose this game? And you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is this just going to be 2 ding dongity teams backing into each other and someone just sucked less? Or do you think we could see a good solid matchup?
Yeah, I hope it's high level. Look, I don't know that Memphis was playing as well as they would have liked going into yesterday, but man, that game ended up being really entertaining with the Warriors, and they, being down 20 on the road could have folded, and they came back. So, I mean, I would believe that, as tough of a year as it's been for the Kings, as tough of a year as it's been for Dallas, this one game environment is pretty special, and they both have an opportunity to advance to Memphis on Friday. So, I think we're personally going to get the best from both, and whatever that looks like. But yeah, I don't anticipate it being someone losing this game, if we put it that way, the way you're asking it.
Okay, so because honestly, look, being honest, I'm fine with this being a horrific game and the Kings winning by 43. Like,
right?
Great.
Oh, it's okay. Any way possible, right?
I don't need entertainment. I need a Kings win, however it comes.
Yeah,
but it would be nice to see some high-level basketball and not just 2 teams, barfing on each other and hitting threes.
Right. Well, we mentioned his name earlier. How about we hear something from Dallas's perspective, from former Warrior, current Maverick, Klay Thompson. He knows what it's like to be in the play-in. He knows what it's like to be in the play-in here. We mentioned earlier his rough game last year, 0 for 10, but he talks about what's unique about this setup for both teams.
Well, it's unique because it's a single elimination, so I look at it as a makeup for never playing in the NCAA tournament. So I'm looking forward to going to Sacramento and having a great experience with my guys.
Well, I hope you don't, Klay.
Yeah, Klay, I hope you don't. And all this homecoming crap. Remember Jason Kidd went to St. Joseph's Alameda in Oakland? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure, it's a homecoming. No, it's not. This isn't your home. You're not allowed to. There's no captain's hats in Sacramento, Klay.
Right.
I mean, there probably are, but your boat ain't fitting on the Delta, Klay.
Well, and that's the thing that's different. Last year, the Kings Warriors playing. Obviously, there were Warrior fans in attendance, and there'll probably be a handful of Mavs fans. But I mean, this is going to be 99% Kings fans in the building tonight, don't you think?
I would think so. Like, look, I have all the respect in the world for the Dallas fan base. I really do. They have some great fans, but I feel like they're not like the most travel-y fans. Like, I don't feel like we're
Right.
gonna have this in to your point, this infestation of Mavericks fans. There'll be some, but yeah, I'm with you. I think this.
Yeah, they're all wearing Lakers jerseys now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if they're upset at their own games, why would they be? I just don't anticipate a bunch of Mavs fans here tonight. Could be wrong, but I just don't anticipate it.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, speaking of the fans, Dave, let's hear DeRozan talk about that exact thing about using the fan base to the advantage for the Kings.
I don't think fans understand how far that would take a team. The energy that you feel in the building. The crowd. There been moments this year in the arena where the crowds, you barely could hear yourself think. And getting them had that advantage first game at home. We got to use that to our advantage.
Okay, Dave, Chris really has ruined this all for us. We had that staff meeting. Was it last week? And I think one of the, I think it was our new leader was up. We got to have the energy. And I'm like, I looked at Chris right away. I'm like, do we play the music? Like, it's okay, right? This would be perfect. Just
so you guys know, we haven't talked about this yet, but that's really sad because you two were sitting next to each other across the room, and I was over in the corner. And I 100% did the same exact thing. I looked right over you guys. Yeah. It was when she said energy. And yes, exactly. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. We'll take a break. When we return, remember, Katie Christensen's going to join us at the top of the hour. I love this Who's Not that Chris has, but he also has a Who's Hot. Plus, we're going to do 3 of the key for the Kings and Mavericks, Jason, and we're going to go streaking. Also, want to make sure you guys know tonight outside Golden One Center, starting at noon, Alan Stiles, another road trip. He's going to be broadcasting right out front of the Guancy. Then the Drive Guys, game night, all live out there. Make sure you get out there, say hello. Jason, why aren't we broadcasting out there?
Well, they asked you, and you chose New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. Yeah, we don't like remote broadcast. Good for them. Get out there, have fun, say hi. And Alan, he did ask me to say this. Let me read the text. Please tell everybody if they want autographs, let me do the first hour. I will sign autographs between 2 and 2:30. Just come up while I'm on the air, not during a commercial break, and say, Alan, can I please have an autograph? Happy to get up and sign and take pictures. So there you go.
That.
That would be interesting if he was on the air at 2.
Because they might have a very long crosstalk.
Oh, okay.
Chris, stupid. When we come back, who's hot and who's not other than me, right after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. From city streets to open highways, Toyota's legendary reliability is built for every road ahead. Right now, get a low-cost lease on a versatile 2025 RAV4 hybrid. Or shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs with a 2025 Grand Highlander hybrid and stylish 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 4/30/25.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. For the A's, pitcher Michel Otanez has resumed throwing from a distance up to 90 feet and could return sometime in mid-April. Brady Basso, out with that left shoulder strain, has been transferred from the 15-day injured list to the 60-day injured list. On the court, Malik Monk has been diagnosed with a left calf strain and will be reevaluated in 14 days, which means he'll miss the rest of the season and the play-in. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group.
Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Ram Truck Month, it's back. Chad, tell me about the deals happening at Hoblet.
Only Hoblet can get you a deal this good on the best selection of new Ram trucks. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Sports. And with 500 new Ram trucks available, your perfect Ram is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
And aren't you the #1 Ram truck dealer in California?
Yeah, we consistently rank #1 in California thanks to our unique selection of Ram trucks. Plus, people love our new certified pre-owned super center with over 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
There's only one thing to do. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 10,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 8,000 West and National Consumer Cash, 1,500 Conquest dealer cash. Must own or lease Ford, Chevy, or GMC brand vehicle. 500 on-the-job upfit. Must show proof of $500 eligible upfit. 5,000 net savings. Sample VIN 616-182. See dealer for details.
Skeeter here. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year. Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are up for blood.
The Sacramento Yola Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who? I said, who is hot?
Who?
Hot.
Tyler Soderstrom.
Yeah. Turlock's own.
He has 3 multi-home run games this year. He is the first player in Major League Baseball to have 3 in a season before the midway point of April. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's hot.
Can I give you a supplemental who's hot?
No.
Okay.
You know what? I'll allow it.
I appreciate that. Xander Schauffele. Everybody Schauffele. He's got 12 straight top 20 finishes in majors. I'm going to say that again. 12 straight top 20 finishes in major tournaments. Colin Morikawa has 5 straight top 20 finishes. Jason, Chris, no one else in golf has more than 2.
Yeah, but I want winners. Oh, he's actually won 2 of those majors.
The game of golf.
Golf. Who's not?
The Tampa Bay Rays.
Listen to this, Jason.
Explain.
Yesterday, they lost to the Red Sox 7-4. And yesterday was April 15th. The Rays are now 0-11 when they play on April 15th. They have been outscored 62-33 during those games. They have lost 4 times to the Red Sox, 2 times to the Blue Jays, 2 times to the White Sox, a game against the Phillies, a game against the Angels, and a game against the Rangers.
That's crazy.
Who's scheduling him for April 15th next year? The league.
Hey, Chris, can I give you
You think they're just all late on their taxes and they're just like, crap?
Well, there's no state tax in Florida, so I don't know what there is.
There's no federal tax, though?
No, well,
optional.
I mean, they don't pay.
They don't get taxed when they go on the road?
A Florida man. Also, who's not? Jason? The Yankees home run hitters. Are they a powerful team, or are they just a team constructed around Yankee Stadium and, in fact, cheaters? Why do I say that? Well, on the road this year, check that. At home this year,
check that.
The Yankees have hit 22 home runs. That's
a lot.
It's a lot. That's an average of 1 home run per 7.5 at-bats. Now, on the road, without allegedly, I'm saying allegedly here, without people banging on trash cans, without their earpieces in, without special invisible drones designed to help the ball move, 22 home runs, 1 every 7.5 at-bats on the road, 2 home runs, and 1 home run every 56 and a half at-bats on the road for the Yankees. Jason Ross, your thoughts, please.
My thoughts are it's very easy to tell you what's going on. They play in a Torpedo Stadium.
So they have the Torpedo bat. They play in Torpedo Stadium?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they're home, they are the Bronx Bombers. When they're on the road, they're the Bronx, little sparklers.
They're the Bronx Squeakers?
Yes.
Squeakers. I'm a power hitter.
I'm using the wrong end of the bat.
We have to get to 3 in the key. I just want to say, for the record, please, everyone, whether you're directing it, I don't care what the sex is of the chatter, please do not request feet pic in the YouTube chat, okay? Do not request pictures of people's feet in the YouTube chat. I can't believe I have to say that. I haven't had to say it in at least a week. The chat is not a place for you to request feet pics, okay? Also, you. All right, 3 in the key. Dallas Kings tonight. Game 1 of the play-in. Dallas coming to Golden 1 center to play the Kings. Klay Thompson went 0 for 10. I hope he does it again. Oh, my God. Is that a jinx?
Okay. Here we go. Guys. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
We are asking Carmichael Dave and Chris Verlaud, who will be the Kings' leading scorer tonight? How many points?
Better be Zach LaVine, and he better have at least 37.
I've got DeMar DeRozan for 27.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, 32.
Okay. We're going to the big guys. We're going to need some big guys out there. How about Anthony Davis rebounds, Domantas Sabonis rebounds?
16 for Domantas Sabonis. 11 for Street Clothes.
Okay, I have 13 for AD, and I also have 16 for Sabonis.
Oh.
12 for Davis. 20 for Sabonis.
Woo!
Okay.
And then the random stat that you guys are picking for tonight.
Random stat. I want to say there will be no blimps that crash into the crowd, but I feel like that
was
be a
fun.
question.
It's out of control.
My God, the humanity.
Random stat is Keegan Murray will have at least 4 3-pointers.
4 or more 3-pointers. I have the Kings will trail at halftime, and everybody will be nervous. Okay, Chris?
Klay Thompson will miss at least his first 5 shots.
That's a jinx. I hope he's right.
I do too.
Wow, no Chuny threes, huh?
No, we're locking in now. This is playing mode. We're in playing mode, Dave.
No time to screw around, right, Jason?
No, this is the time where he's going to bury like 4 of them.
Well, his last one you could build houses with. Hopefully, that was tough acting, dude.
You want a streak?
Yeah, let's streak. Let's streak.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. All right. Well, Dave, you're at 0. I'm at 3. Chris is at 0. So let's see how we did. Yesterday, you took Luis Arias, San Diego Padres. He got up 4 times, and he got a hit.
Okay. I honestly, I was ready to say if he did not get a hit, I was going to be done with him for the year. So he's trying to make up. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you're good. You're batting .214, 5 homers, 9 RBIs. I was at 3 trying to get to 4. I took Lars Nootbaar. And Lars was 0 for 1, then 0 for 2. Had a walk in there, got up one more time in the 8th inning, and base hit for Lars Nootbaar. My streak goes to 4. I'm now batting 2. I'm up to 285.
Wow.
5 homers.
I
was Mendoza.
Yeah.
5 homers, 16 RBIs. And Chris took Jackson Holiday. Well, Jackson's got his own theme song, so let's find out how he did. Dave, do you have the chart? Do you know what that means?
He did not play. He did not play.
You did it. Yeah.
No Mendoza.
DNP for Jackson. So Dave's at 1. I'm at 4. Chris is at 0. Chris is still batting .320 with 3 home runs and 7 RBI. So new day, new picks. Who you got, Dave? You can take anybody but Luis Arias.
Give me Tyler Soderstrom. Why not? Let's ride the wave.
Yes. Okay. I'm on the same wavelength as you, Dave, because he is going to be on the show tomorrow. Rookie shortstop Jacob Wilson, by the way, joining us tomorrow morning at 7. I'm picking him tonight, and I'm going to tell him tomorrow how happy I am that he got me 2 to 3 hits today. So,
but if he doesn't get any hits, I'm 100% bringing it up to him in a polite way, but be like, look, Jacob, how does it feel starting out the interview knowing you let Jason Ross down? He guaranteed you get a hit today.
Where were you on that one, Dip?
And then I will say, Jacob, I'm so confident in you. I'm picking you again today. That'll be tomorrow.
Hope you had a nice game, Jacob.
Chris, who are you picking?
Going back to the well.
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday.
Jackson. Okay. Are you really going to mention that? You are, aren't you?
No, I won't, probably.
Why not?
He'll
get a hit.
Let's just we're going to get a couple questions in so I can feel him out.
Hello.
Not in like a harassing way.
Okay.
And then we'll see where we go. We'll see where we go from there. Because, the most awkward radio is always radio where you just don't get the reaction you want. Also, hey, as we go to break, anyone else a little bit nervous as we were leading into that Chuck Cooperstein interview? He seemed really mad that he couldn't hear us, and I was worried.
Can't hear you.
Guys, I can't hear. We'll do it live. And then he pulled it together. I just wanted to acknowledge that. So.
I think he's the first to be on the phone and on the screen.
Honestly, Chuck Cooperstein, trailblazer. I mean, Maverick, but, we'll take a break when we come back. Hey, let's talk to Katie Christensen.
Okay.
Analyst for your Sacramento Kings. We'll see what she has to say about tonight's game, which I don't believe she's working it, is she?
No.
So, I love it when Katie doesn't have to prep. We'll see if she even remembers who's playing. We'll talk to her right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Save $12,750 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT and RST 5.3 in stock at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. After all rebates.
And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,750 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Australian 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KHD KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Yep. Welcome back. Final hour of the program. You are halfway through the week. Who better to start the program off with? Although judging by Jason's furrowed brow and his glance towards Chris, we may not in fact be ready to go to our next guest.
You are correct.
Look at me reading the tea leaves. All right. Well, while we're waiting on Katie, I'm going to ask you a very important question, Jason. Are you ready?
I am.
You can only pick one. Haribo Twin Snakes, Haribo Happy Cherries, okay, or Haribo Coke bottles.
Because I've never seen them, I'm probably going the cherries.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never seen the cherries? Not even in a Star Mix?
No.
Oh, okay. The correct answer, by the way, is cola bottles. But
why has it got to be snakes? Anything but snakes.
Get these snakes off. By the way, I'll tell you what. This is and again, we're vamping for Katie. Everybody, relax.
She's ready.
The pro move, by the way, cola bottle and a cherry for a cherry cola bottle.
There you go.
Welcoming in the analyst for your Sacramento Kings, the one, the only, from way Northern California, the first congressional district in California, by the way, former Santa Barbara Gaucho, Katie Christensen. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning. Wow. Didn't know you knew all of these things.
He might have made that up.
You know, I knew about Santa Barbara and where you're from, but yeah, it's congressional district number 1 in all of California.
So here's one thing I do know about. You have always been a wealth of useless information.
That is true. No, that is very true.
It is true.
It is true. Well, you know, it's like you're a big Frasier fan, which means you saw Cheers. I like to think I'm radio's Cliff Clavin.
Okay.
Okay. When you don't have to work the game, things are a little bit different. I know you still prep a little bit and all that fun stuff, and you know a little bit, quite a bit, I should say, about both these teams. So I want to make one of them sports radio statements, and then you argue with me or agree with it. The Sacramento Kings almost certainly need to have Zach LaVine as their guy tonight. Zach LaVine needs to have a good game. As he goes, this team goes.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And I'll take it kind of a step further. Zach needs to have a good game. And when he has good games, that means he's scoring from every level, right? The Kings absolutely need to be able to have consistency with their 3-point shot tonight. Like that has to be a big part of their offensive, pie, if you will, to be able to really have success tonight. And if they move on further, into the postseason.
Katie, how important do you think it will be? They talk about pace a lot, and I've always wanted to play with pace. I think they did that better when they had De'Aaron. Maybe that kind of just makes sense based on his overall speed. But how much should pace be an issue for the Kings tonight as far as what they want to do against Dallas?
Well, you look back to that game against Portland at home when they, came out guns a-blazing and they were just, really aggressive in terms of attacking and playing with pace. And this is something that's really important when you talk about pace, you guys. A lot of people think that pace really is just isolated to the up and down, like how fast you get up and down the court. But really, this team, their pace in the half court is really critical for their success, because that means the ball is moving, bodies are moving, there's cuts, you're making the defense constantly have to work. When they struggle is when they revert kind of to that isolated, heavy offensive style. And it's good in situations, right? End of quarters, that kind of thing. When you're kind of trying to manage the clock at the end of the game where you're using as much of it as possible, like those situations are good. But the reality of the situation is when this team is stationary, like every team really, they're easier to defend. And so I think their pace, getting up and down is important, but maybe more important is there going to be their pace in the half court.
Katie Christensen joining us. When we think of Anthony Davis, we think of the middle of this defense, the center of the team. He's actually been doing a lot of power forward for Jason Kidd. Derek Lively will be playing tonight. So that's 7-1 and 6-11 basically in the middle of the court for the Dallas Mavericks. Do you think Doug messes around with the Lithuanian lasagna duo at some point tonight? You think we see Jonas Endemont?
Lithuanian lasagna. Is that what you guys came up with?
No, wasn't that Charles Barkley? Yeah. Jason, yeah, Charles did it originally for Sabonis. Go ahead. You can use that if you want.
Okay. I'll pass on that one. I'll let Chuck have that. You know what? It's interesting because I think that, yes, with him playing power forward, which is really what Anthony Davis wants to do. He doesn't want to be center. He didn't like playing center with the Lakers. That was one of the kind of areas of contention with him. It changes things because the Kings, in essence, kind of that means Keegan Murray is technically at the power forward, right? And then you have to mess with matchups and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be really interested to see how they start tonight. And then from there, I do think we see kind of the double big lineup, if you will. However, the first time we saw it was against Dallas. And it was when Dallas went small is when the Kings went big. And I was really surprised at how effective it was with two bigs on the floor going against a smaller lineup. So we'll see. I would be shocked if we don't, see it tonight. The question is going to be, how much do we see it? And I think, kind of getting a feel for Doug's, coaching style, he'll try things and he'll give it some time. If it's not successful the first time he does it, I don't know that we see it again, because that's kind of, I'm basing that on kind of what we've seen since December, right? And what he does. But yeah, in essence, it would be effective, but then it's like, they're not going to start with the double big lineup. So then you're going into rotations, right? Like how often are you going to get Anthony Davis and Lively on the floor together when it's not against the starters? So that's going to be where he's going to have to play with rotations if he wants to see the double big lineup. Because I not in a million years, he's not going to start that way.
Katie, we were talking, you talked earlier about the importance of Zach LaVine having a big game tonight, and I agree 100% on that. But you also would like to have DeMar DeRozan have a big game. These are two very important pieces. They've done it at times where they've both been good, and it's kind of kept in the flow, and everything just kind of looked right. And then there's been other times where it's either been a take your turn or maybe too much ISO for DeMar. Are they doing a better job, or what's the best way they can get kind of the greatness of what you get with Sabonis, with LaVine, with DeRozan, and put it all together?
Yeah, I mean, they've done it at times, right? And when both of them have gone off, if you go back to the games, it's been really interesting how it happens. It'll be like Zach has 10 points in the first quarter, and then DeMar has 10 points in the second quarter, and it kind of goes back and forth. So there's two things about that. The positive thing about that, in my opinion, is that it shows that they're very cognizant of when someone has a hot hand and you want to make sure they're getting touches, right? So if Zach comes out and starts well, this team has been really good about, making sure he's getting the ball. That's what happened in the first quarter. I believe it was in the last game that Zach had 10 points in the first quarter, and then he didn't score in the second quarter. And so that's the only thing to me that the negative side of it is, like, when there is a substitution and someone comes out and then they're back together in that time, maybe it's DeMar that's going. Like, I would like to see them look for the hot hand, but also not have it be every single possession. And that, to me, sometimes is where it goes a little bit south. Because in all honesty, I mean, the reality is you want to try and never, the same way defensively when you're guarding a player, like a superstar player. We talk about it with Steph Curry all the time. You want to give them, you never want to give them a steady diet of the same thing. You want to keep them guessing. The same is true on the offensive end. You don't want offensively to be going to the same well over and over and over again, because the defense adjusts and then it really can disrupt your rhythm. So it's got to be kind of in between, in my opinion. And we'll see how they approach it tonight, just based on, who gets going.
Katie Christensen joining us. So we talked about, and we agree on the importance of Zach LaVine. If I were to tell you one other player would have 25 points tonight, be it Keegan, DeMar, Keon, DeMontis, which one other than LaVine you think would give them the best chance to win?
Well, I'll say this. I think that, everyone has to play well. This is just where you're at in the season, and you have to play well within your role. And I'm trying to remember what game it was recently. I think it was Detroit, actually. It was where Domas came out and had a blazing hot start. And then he didn't really, statistically add too much to it over the course of the last three quarters. But then someone else went off, and then at the end of the game, it was Zach and DeMar in that game. And so I think it's really, really critical for Domas to have a big night, because of just how it shifts the defense, right? If he is not, what's the word for it? Why can't I think of it? If he's not productive on the inside and making that defense have to shift to the middle, they're not going to get the same open looks on the outside that they need to get, in my mind. So if I had to choose from everybody, I would say Domas is critical to getting out to an early start, but also being very effective on the boards. Because a lot of his offense in the end really comes from what he does on the offensive glass. So, that's also another thing when you've got great scorers from the outside. It's not always about make sure the ball is getting inside to the big. They're so focused on boxing him out that the defense has to shift to him the same way that they do when they're looking to actually physically get the ball in the low post.
Katie, the Kings have a lot of players who have been in this kind of situation before, the play-in, DeRozan, Levine. A lot of the guys last year were in this spot.
JV has been in the
all of them
more than anybody in the NBA.
Isn't that crazy? Is that even any kind of factor for tonight as far as having more guys that have been in that spot?
Jason, you get the good question comment.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
What? That was
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
It's a great question because this is really different. The play-in adds a different element than even a playoff series. Obviously, the series is a 7-gamer. There is more pressure on a play-in game because it is a one-and-done situation. When you're in the 9-10, it's 100%. You have to win tonight. And so I do think that from a mental perspective, even just how they've prepared over the last couple of days, how they're preparing today, it's about getting your mind in the right, frame of mind, because it's a very unique situation. It's like every game is a game 7, basically. And so, I think that it does help a lot to have those guys, and not even necessarily like saying like, oh, they're talking to the team about it, right? But it's helping from the way that they individually prepare. And because you have so many of them that have been in that situation, I think that bodes well in terms of kind of the collective preparation from an individual, mental perspective.
How was your Survivor viewing party last week?
On the 9th. I'm trying to remember the day. It was fantastic. It was really, really great. It was a really wonderful turnout, and it was exciting for me personally to be able to be there and be a part of it. So it was pretty awesome. It's a lot of, basically like hold my purse, take a picture type thing, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love being on that side of it.
Which is funny because usually you're on the other side when anyone who's around you is holding purse and taking picture of you and somebody else. So it's like a switcheroo.
It's a massive switcheroo because it's like, I don't know how to put it. Like people in Sacramento know me. It's a little bit different. Being on Survivor, it's a different element. So it's really interesting to sit back and kind of just enjoy kind of the interactions.
Well, hopefully much more of that. And we get much more interactions with the Sacramento Kings playing postseason games after tonight. In the meantime, 7 p.m. right here on Sacktown Sports. Thank you, Katie. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, just to make sure that all the listeners know, like, we don't broadcast a game tonight, but I will be doing the pre-half and post-game show on NBC. So tune in to us so that we can give you all the insight. See, look at my little plug there, Dave. Nice. You like that?
You're doing TV too? You're doing TV? What? Look,
I'm doing pre-half and post-game show.
All right, look, listen, don't be nervous. Just pay attention to your producer in your ear. You'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have no experience doing this, so I'm a little nervous. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't be nervous. Just think of all the audience in their underwear. I'll talk to you later. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's former sideline reporter and pre-half and post-game host and current Kings analyst, Katie Christensen. We're going to pause for 30 seconds. Jason wants to wash his face or something. I don't know. When we return, we'll get to one last look at Kings Mavs. Jason's got just a treasure trove of audio for you, and so much more before we get to hopefully crosstalk with Alan Stiles out on location at the Golden One Center. We'll do all that right after this. And by this, I mean, talk about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Speaking of Katie, if you're trying to survive the summer heat, you may want to make sure your air conditioner is working properly. And oh, by the way, even if it is working properly, it may not be, or it's working. It may not be working efficiently, is my point. So your air conditioner's on, but like I just found out when I had to replace my air conditioner, and I did that with American Energy about a month ago, that my air conditioning unit was about 50% too small for my house. So it was working, but it was overworking itself, and my bill, there's a reason why my bill is so high. Maybe the first time I've ever been excited about getting a bill, just because I can't wait to see how much lower my AC bills are this time. Let American Energy do the same for you. Locally owned and operated since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. 916-520-9990. 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 30-second break. One last look. Kings Mavericks next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
The one time I paused because I think we're going to do a sound clip. And I burned myself twice earlier on the program. Now I'm a little gun shy. Jason, final thoughts on the matchup tonight. I am weirdly calm about it, which makes me I'm now starting to get nervous about it. Like I feel like they should win. I know they're favored.
Oh, we never did the point spread, did we?
Oh,
I was waiting for that game today. Not that I know it. I haven't cheated.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Kings by 45.5.
Well, you know what? Maybe that'll come into effect later. Remember what we've all just said so far. And Chris, let me start with you. Who is favored by how much?
I'm going to say the Kings by 3.5.
Is that what you were going to say, Jason?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Kings by 3.5. I'm going to say Chris and I are both right. We have correct answers.
What was earlier, just a couple seconds ago, when you said you were joking about the Kings being favored by some crazy number? Do you remember what that number was?
45.5.
Yeah, put a point in the middle. The Kings are favored by 4.5.
You were close.
You were close.
In my mind, I was thinking 3.5. So yeah, I was with Chris.
Somehow I feel closer than Jason.
You know what? You said it first. Ty goes to first.
How about this? The Heat visiting Chicago to take on those Chicago Bulls. Who is favored by how much?
Kevin Herter's Bulls, making people forget about Michael Jordan, by 6.5.
Bulls by 4.5.
Technically, Chris wins. But should you really get a win when you're 3 full points off? The Chicago Bulls are only favored by 1.5.
Wow. They've been playing much better than the Heat lately.
That's weird.
Much better. Isn't it, though? That is weird, Chris. I 100% agree.
I just told Jason a theory, but I don't think I should share it.
Well,
I'll let you know.
If you don't think you should share it, normally I'd be like, well, now everybody wants to know. But if you don't think you should share it, then
he should not.
No, then it should. Yeah. If Chris is like, I don't know if I should share that publicly, because there are a lot of things Chris shares publicly that 100% should not be shared.
I think he just shared it with you on your text. What do you think? Should he do it?
I am so sorry to everybody because I know how it is to have like inside jokes. No.
Oh, okay.
No. No, he should not share that publicly.
When I don't share things, it's not because I think I'll get in trouble. I think I'll get everybody in trouble.
That's right. And
for the
please
team.
do that. Anyways, oh, by the way, speaking of completely unrelated, I was reading an article about this earlier today. So one of the players in that whole situation, Josh Giddey, he's a free agent. I believe what is he going to command on the open market with everything? I mean, you've got, look, he's out of, allegedly out of hot water, but there's still kind of that, well, you weren't convicted, but he just turned 22 in October. He averaged 14.5, 8, and 7. And let's be honest, the way he finished the year was pretty damn impressive. In fact, guys, in the month of April, he's averaged 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists on 47, 40, 82 splits. In March, he averaged 20, 9.5, and 9. And then the month before that, even, it was 28 and 6.5. And again, I'll tell you, he's 22 years old. He is a 6'8" combo guard. So let me throw this out there. Jason, would you be shocked if he got a max deal?
No.
I don't think he will, but I think he's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
So. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, back to the market. Who's got money? Who's available? How much can he move the other teams? Pit them against each other. But yeah, I think someone's going to be very, very interested. They should be.
Well, let me switch this to Chris. Do you think he'd be a good fit for the Kings since they do need a point guard?
No.
Jason?
Yes.
Wow, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
So you said you weren't. You're not feeling that nervous about tonight, huh?
No, like I'm saying that I'm picking up on the fact that I'm not as nervous as I should be, which is actually progressively making more nervous and will probably lead into a nervous frenzy tonight. Remember, the game starts at 9 p.m. my time tonight.
Yeah. Is part of your because I think there's a decent portion of Kings fans that think the Kings might be able to win tonight and maybe even win in Memphis on Friday, but that might be where it ends. So if you don't think like there's a long runway here, maybe it doesn't feel like there's as much pressure for the fans. The players should think they could win the whole thing. I mean, if I'm on the team, I'm like, we're winning this whole thing. But for fans, you want to try to be somewhere in the reality range. And I just think, I think they have a good shot tonight. I think they could beat Memphis if all went right, but I just don't know how much further they'll go after that.
I've been wondering all week if you were going to phrase a question this way because I've really tried to avoid it. And to be honest with you, I probably could avoid it right now, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I think part of the reason I'm not nervous about tonight is I absolutely do not care if they win. And I don't care. And I don't care if they beat Memphis. The only reason I care is because I know there's a lot of fans out there that would love to see them win, and that would be at the game, and I care for them. It's them 100%. I care for fans that want to see this team win. Me personally, in my world, I am terrified that if they beat Dallas and beat Memphis, regardless of what they do against Oklahoma City, that it's going to give our ownership and front office license to say we're a lot closer than we think it is, and to temper their maneuverations during the summer, when I really think they need to make some strong moves over the summer for this to be an actual competitive team and not a team that's in the 38 to 42 win level next year with an average age of 28, and a team that has no chance of contending for a title anytime soon. So my care is not. I know they're not getting out of the first round. I know that for as close of a fact as you could possibly know without knowing it for a fact. So yeah, I'd like for them to win. I'm always going to root for them to win, but I don't want this franchise getting silly with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would be fooled, but you never know. I mean, not that this front office in now or in the past has, been flawless at everything, obviously, but I think a lot of it has to be weighed on what they all saw for the 82 games that we saw. And you'd rather play better at the end. And if they have a good little run here, that would be great. But again, you're basically a 500 team. I think the way like Mark Followill described it yesterday was perfect. As someone that's kind of an outsider, but knows the league and has followed the team, he's like, they have the ability to beat a lot of teams, and they've shown that, but they have the same equal ability to have these awful losses. And so that's not a consistent team. And the teams that are 6 and above in the West have been far more consistent. And that's not this squad, but that they could easily win tonight. They could easily win on Friday and feel good about going in, but this is not a consistent team.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. We're way late for a break. Shaka Zulu Galaxy Gaming on YouTube says, but Dave, what if they make it out of the first round? Well, what if my aunt had a Ferrari, she'd be in Chicago. Let's not, is what it is. I don't know what that means. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got crosstalk, I think, maybe possibly with Alan Stiles coming up a bit later. Remember, he and the Drive guys will all be broadcasting live out at Golden One Center. We'll get to what to watch. And there is a lot to watch tonight. We know what the main event is. It's right here on Sacktown Sports. We'll clean up some final things, not before or not after, or should I say after a word from Gonzalez Law and Jason Ross. Yeah, right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
That's right. Let me tell you about my friend Jonathan Gonzalez, a lawyer in downtown Sacramento. Has been serving our community for a long time and helping a lot of people. He doesn't settle for less, and neither should you. You can call him at 916-304-9187. His track record is very stellar. Think about this. From 2016 through 2019, undefeated in jury trials. His case preparation overall approach has resulted in life-changing, impactful results for thousands of clients, and you could be one as well. We all know that maybe something happened to you in the past that's followed you around that you'd like to shed off of your record. Well, sometimes that's hard to do. Well, he has specialized in expungements, but maybe it's a sexual harassment case, a wrongful termination case, criminal defense, auto accident, whatever the case might be. You feel like you need some help. You want someone that's local, someone that has been successful, and someone that is here to help you. That's Jonathan Gonzalez. Again, the number is 916-304-9187 or go to saclegaldefense.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Skeeter here. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year. Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are out for blood.
The Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Final half hour of the program. Jason, we started out at the beginning of the show talking about best tasting foods that would be weird to eat at a game.
Right.
And we had things like steak. We saw it all started because we saw somebody eating spaghetti.
Right.
You came up with the idea of the spaghetti helmet. You know what wouldn't be weird to eat though? Have you ever tried Zappo's spicy Cajun craw taters?
You know what? With the craw taters, I've definitely Zapp's is big down there.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know if they've had those.
Yum with a capital Y, Jason.
Nice.
The spicy Cajun craw taters, not very spicy.
What's on your menu today?
Well, I'm incredibly hungry because the only problem with the show is nothing's really open around here before 8 a.m., which is the time the show starts out here. And so then by the time the show starts and when it ends, it's noon. So I haven't really eaten yet. I've just snacked. I've got my craw tater chips. By the way, this is all healthy food. I have what's left of those Southwest Airlines pretzels. I have half of a praline and some gummy colas, right? So when I get off the show, I am famished. But the problem is everybody just ate breakfast like an hour ago.
Stay up to
exactly. Fire that sound. So I will tell you that I 100% am going to eat some fried green tomatoes and remoulade sauce today in some form.
Are you?
Oh, 100%.
Back to the craw taters, Dave. How do those compare to the prawn cocktail crisps?
Okay, so it's different. I'm glad you asked that, Chris. I was thinking the same thing. They both have that kind of shrimpy flavor to it, but in this one, it's like a little bit spicy. It's almost like, imagine like a spicy rub on it. Whereas the prawn cocktail, it's like prawn, but it's got a little bit of that kind of cocktail sauce, horseradish spice, ketchup, sweetness. I would probably go prawn cocktail. But these are but the problem is, or the thing is, these are kettle style, which I like more. So if I could take the texture of these chips and combine them with the prawn cocktail over in Europe, we'd be dialed. Jason, your thoughts?
No, thanks.
Okay. So we are, and by the way, when I get home, I'm going to, I've never done this before. I didn't even know you could do this because I'm an idiot. I'm going to an allergist when we get home and I'm getting retested for oysters, scallops, and calamari, because those are the three things I've had reactions to before and won't touch them because I'm freaked out of them. But being here, especially oysters, I miss oysters so much, dude, that I really hope I'm not allergic to them anymore.
Where do you do that? You just go to a specific allergist to do it? I mean, I didn't know if like a food allergist or because I used to go to an allergist.
Eat
all
this.
The time. Yeah, eat this. Let me know how you feel.
No, I think they prick you.
Hello.
And with something, and then they can see if you're allergic to it or not. I was reading about it. I would imagine I just call my local health professional and say, hey, give me a, give me a test, right? And then
yeah,
I might have been missing out all these years of oyster shooters, raw oyster in a shot glass with some cocktail sauce and some lemon squeezed over it. Hello. Sleeping on your back. I mean, yeah, it's a blast. Anyways, Kings, Mavs tonight. If only I knew where that was going to be broadcast on the radio.
Oh, I got it for you. Right here on Sacktown Sports.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right here. If only there was a legendary voice calling the game.
You're lucky. The G-Man. Let me introduce you to the G-Man, Gary Gerald.
G-Man.
Yeah, but you probably can't listen to like anybody out at Doco.
Chris,
before
you
the
can,
game.
starting at noon, the great Alan Stiles, then the Drive Guys, and then game night. My goodness.
You get an opportunity to meet Scott Marsh in person.
Mm-hmm.
He said anyone who wants to come up for a picture, he will actually also do it during the show. But when you see him, when you shake his hand, you have to say the game of
golf.
Yep.
That's it.
Then he will give you a shiny new quarter. So you got that all going on. Heat and Bulls will lead us in as the is it the Kings East or are we the Bulls West, Jason? What's the latest on that?
I think there's more here, so we're the Bulls West.
Well, the Bulls West. So
yeah,
the former Bulls. Well, I guess they're now the Bulls again. Heat at Bulls tonight. That is a loser go bye. And then Giants are back at it with the Philadelphia Phillies, and the A's try to continue their winning ways against, once again, the absolute worst team in Major League Baseball, the Chicago White Sox, who, by the way, Jason, like 4 years ago, were thought to be a contending team.
Yeah, things have changed just a bit. Just a bit. A's need to take advantage of that, though.
People change. Seasons change. Okay.
Hairstyles change.
We'll take a break. When we come back, by the way, do we know, are we cross-talking with Alan, or are they still?
Yeah, he'll be here for the first couple hours, and then he's heading out to Doco.
Okay, so we'll cross-talk with Alan. We'll get thoughts on tonight. We've got celebrity birthdays and more. So, look, we've got programs for you all the way leading up to the game. You have no reason to touch your dial whatsoever. What they used to say, press in the button on your radio and rip the knob off. It's Sacktown Sports all the way into game one of the play-in. Kings and Dallas coming up.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com.
Grab the keys to a new fuel-efficient Toyota. More miles, fewer fill-outs. Toyota hybrids are built to go the distance with legendary dependability and head-turning style. Get a low-cost lease on a new 2025 Prius or shop deals on 17 Toyota hybrid models from the longest-lasting brand on the road. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. 2 years of complimentary maintenance. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 4/30/25.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, a huge spring savings for you today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Since the launch of the World Handicap System, a golfer's handicap index has been automatically calculated by taking their 8 best score differentials from their most recent 20 rounds. According to Golf Monthly Newsletter, that handicap is not designed to reflect average scores, but how likely you'll play on a course of average difficulty. Handicaps are generally split into 3 different groups: low, mid, and high. A recent report by the USGA showed that the average handicap index for a male is 14.2 and 28.7 for a female. A golfer with a handicap of 1 to 9 is considered to have a low handicap. A handicap of 10 to 19 is generally thought to be a mid-handicapper, and a higher handicap golfer is 20 and above. Nearly 50% of males are mid-handicappers, with 30% carrying low handicaps, and under 20% of female golfers are in the low and mid-handicap groups. Carry your handicap proudly and play on. It's supposed to be fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel, walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yo! Let's do this. Alan Stiles, soon to be on the road. Alan Stiles, starting here, moving to Golden One Center, going to be in the middle of all the action.
That's right.
Handing the baton rouge over to Kyle and Whitey. You got to be excited.
I'm very excited, Dave. And I told you the family is still back east, so I'm not going home. I'm doing the show, and I'm just staying at Doco. Just soaking it all in, Dave. Soaking it all in.
Good. You should. You absolutely should. What are your final thoughts with us, but your pre-thoughts for your show? Give us all the best points you're going to make on your show about tonight's game.
The best points, I would say this: do not let PJ Washington get going. That will kill you. He's kind of killed the Kings. The Kings have won the games, or 3-0, so no one has really cared. And I think he missed one of those games. But, not that I'm worried about the Mavs, but I will say this. They're 3-0, the Kings are. Are the Mavs a worse version of their team with the injuries to Kyrie? Yes. But this is a version of the team that the Kings have never played, which does worry me a little bit. And I just want the Kings to stick to their game. I know you guys have played a lot of the sound where they keep on emphasizing getting into transition. And we looked this up yesterday. What were they, Kyle? They're 24th in pace of play. So don't try to, you just said you don't have a true point guard. Don't try to force transition and kick the ball all over the place like it's the big green. So I would just say, play your game and do it for the city. Can we get a bug in the locker room for Doug's speech? It's going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah. That's where he's going to shine.
Is it going to be on the run or something on YouTube? We got to see it. We got to. That's how I'm feeling, though, Dave. Confident, but just run your race and play your game.
I want to know what the abbreviation on the whiteboard is going to be. I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody I know with the team said it's going to be BTM. And I'm trying to figure out what that means.
I got it.
Yeah. Jason, you have a guess?
Yeah. But I'm not sharing it. Beat the Mavs, maybe?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. That might be a little simplistic, but I go with it. Okay.
Bet the money line. Oh, is that
it? Ooh. Hey, congratulations once again to the 209. Did we ever find out, guys? Because I'm not there. Are we getting a parade? What's going on?
We need one.
Yeah. I was at the airport yesterday.
Yeah, for what?
For the
bringing them in?
Bringing them in.
Nice.
Just randomly at the airport.
There's just so much hope at the airport. Sometimes I just go pretend I'm going on a flight.
Where are we going? I don't know. Just watching.
Sir, can I help you? Nah.
Is an airport a place of hope or a place of sadness?
It's hope for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
you were
miss
hopeful
that we used to always be able to go all the way up to the gate and wish someone off or welcome someone in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Times are different.
Times are different.
Speaking of airplanes, celebrity birthdays are brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Hey, nothing can make your heart take off into the friendly skies like a crumble cookie. As they say, crumble cookies. Oh my God, that's a good cookie. Back to you.
Hey, Dave, speaking of airplanes, the movie Airplane starred this former NBA player, I guess, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, celebrating birthday today. The captain.
The greatest resume in NBA history. Maybe not the greatest player, but the greatest resume in basketball history.
Good.
Well, it's pretty good. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 77.
80.
He is 73. He was also in Forget Paris, which I believe came out in 1995.
Dave is closest, 78.
He was also in, wasn't he in that Chuck Norris movie where they karate'd?
I know
he was in the Bruce Lee movie where he karate'd.
And then Chuck Norris is in the Bruce Lee movie. Yeah, I got you.
Happy birthday to Chance the Rapper.
Oh.
What?
That's Chance.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. You know. If it's not Kendrick, Dave doesn't know.
I couldn't hear. It's a connection. I got it now.
No, it's
not. Chance the Rapper is 43.
Oh. Yeah, you definitely didn't know what I was doing.
What are you talking about?
Chance, I think I'm going to say 31. I know it's between 29 and 31.
I think he's 33.
I'm going to say 31.
31, 33. We have a tie. He is 32.
We all were wrong.
Dave was more wrong.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Bad boys.
Looks like he's 25.
Yeah.
Martin's
25.
Martin's 61 today.
What?
Yeah, can you believe it?
Now I'm. There's a saying here, but I'm not going to say the saying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
We'll allow it.
Oh, he looks younger than whatever Dave just said. I'm going to say 50.
Is that the saying?
54.
I think he's 60 on the nose.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Christopher Laud. Happy 60th to Martin Lawrence.
Wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know it.
Happy birthday to Bill Belichick.
I did. I knew it.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
Oh,
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Check. Check one. Check.
Bill Belichick is 73.
70. I think Dave might be right. 72.
He is 56 years older than his girlfriend, which makes him 74.
All right, 72, 73, 74. We have a correct answer. It goes to Carmichael Dave, 73.
Wow. Thank you.
Happy birthday to...
Oh, he's 57.
I like all my guys. Bruce Bochy.
Boch is 71.
Now here's a Hall of Famer.
Here's a hat size.
73 with a 9.
He is 67.
Dave was closest, 70, excuse me.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to 2.5 Men's John Cryer.
Oh, I saw a picture.
That
yesterday.
Allen?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the show. It's not Charlie Sheen, the other guy.
No, my in-laws probably had it on 70% of the time I was there.
Did you guys see the picture?
Sure,
floating
the
around
in-laws. Wink.
of the updated Breakfast Club folks?
I have not.
Okay.
Thanks.
I did.
No, because you asked about John Cryer. John Cryer is 60.
John Cryer is 54.
59.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave. John Cryer is 60.
Wow.
Wow.
He looks really bald for his age.
Happy birthday to Luol Deng. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Luol Deng is 35.
Dave is hot right now.
I am.
I'm saying 36.
33.
Alan is closest, 40.
Oh.
Luol Deng. Happy birthday to, you'll shoot your eye out, Christmas Stories, Peter Billingsley. Ralphie.
The kid?
Yeah.
I actually just watched that. What's going on there, man?
It's a little wild.
What?
The movie is terrible.
I mean,
oh, shut up.
What are we actually watching?
You're watching A Christmas Story. It's a classic.
It didn't even make it to Christmas when it came out in theaters.
What's your Christmas movie? That stretchy guy that you guys like, you two?
Oh, Jingle All the Way?
Yeah.
That's a
way better than
that's an American
Christmas
movie
Story.
right there.
You guys are huffing paint. Seriously, it is the most.
Nobody talked about how great Christmas Story was until it was on TNT for 24 hours because they were just trying to save money.
Wrong. Showing your age. Showing your age, dude. Christmas Story. Watch that every year since it came out. It's classic.
You feel obligated.
You were the only one.
I tried.
It's the best Christmas movie made in modern day.
That
Isn't it in black and
Muppets
white?
Christmas Carol.
Is it not in black and white?
No.
It should be.
Spanish.
Go, Dave.
What's his face is
awful movie.
You're an awful movie. 54. This is MacGruber guy saying A Christmas Story is an
Trying to
awful
do the
movie.
math here. It came out in the 40s.
80. I want to say 81.
Okay, yeah, then you're probably spot on there. What did
he said? 54.
58.
62.
We have a correct answer that goes to Carmichael Dave. Peter Billingsley is 54.
Is that 3? Oh no, he got the 141.
It's but also the correct answer about the movie itself being amazing. You guys are having a terrible day today.
Dave, I do want to confirm they both are actually huffing paint. It's really weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the last but not least, Nolan Arenado.
Now that's a third baseman.
You don't have to
That's
say
a
about
third baseman. Nolan Arenado is 33.
Huh. 34. Yeah. You know what they say.
Yeah. Chris?
35.
33, 34, 35. We do have a correct answer, and it goes to Alan Stiles.
I always get baseball players, man.
You don't have to say.
You know.
The hit doctor.
You know what they say.
What's that, Dave?
Baseball players play baseball. Alan, what's coming on? What is your schedule? You're doing the show?
So, yeah, we're here 10 to 12, and then we boogie on over.
He's boogieing.
To Doco, 12 to 2. Come by, say what's up, give us a light the beam, light it. And we might have Brendan Nunez, who's going to be at both the shoot around, so he might pop on around 12. So the hype train is rolling, and we're all really excited for tonight's game.
Will you? We said you'd be available for autographs between 1 and 2, as long as they asked you for one or a picture while you were broadcasting.
That's right, and I'll do it too. I don't care.
Will you be captioning your autographs with the hit doctor?
This would be the radio doctor.
Oh.
The hoops doctor.
That's right. The beam doctor.
Have fun. Hopefully, we're all watching a lit beam after this evening for the legendary Chuck Cooperstein, the legendary Katie Christensen, Jason Ross, also legendary. Christopher Laud, terrible takes constantly. I'm Carmichael Dave. We'll see you tomorrow. Please light the beam. Love you. Bye-bye now.